Brookhaven. I am Dino. What is going on? Good to see everybody. Want to do a big thank you, first of all, to the Late Late Horror Show over there for, I asked for some subs to come on over here, check it out, and they did. A lot of them didn't know that I even had the channel over here. They thought the posts were for the other stuff going on the Late Late Horror Show. But welcome. This is where we do Lego builds. I work on my Lego City, which I'll be talking about in a second. Pantasy, Fun Hole. Those are kind of the three that I work on right now. I'm looking at a couple mocks that I got, which I won't talk about that right now because I ran into a brick wall on one of them. But anyways, hello to everybody. Let me get the chat up here first to see who is here and say hi to everybody. My microphone is way over here. Now you can hear me much better. Jeez. I am all over the place. I apologize for not having streams going over here as often as I should have and like I was doing that one week. I will show this in a second. Microphone is in front of me now. Yikes. Hello to Vern. Vern, what is going on? Connie Clary, thank you for being here. Black Roses, Jody. Oh, God, when did you say your birthday was? Saturday, right? Saturday? Wait, when did you say your birthday was? I forget already. Red, what's going on? Hey, y'all. Good to see you here, Red. Jody, when is your birthday again? Oh, my God, I forgot. I know Harry Scott was here. Hey, Harry Scott, be right back. Sweet Indigo was here. Hopefully they're still here. But good to see everybody in the chat as I build this. And I will be playing some Michael Shayne today. Great noir detective show. So I will be playing that Saturday. That's what I thought. Black Roses, I thought Saturday. So I got it right. But I said, maybe I'm wrong. But thank you to everybody. And thank you to everybody that subbed and got us over 500. So we reached our first little milestone. And over at the Late Late Horror Show, I'm at 148. But anyways, there is a stream going to be on tonight, and a good detective mix I just put together. That's why I was a little bit late, but I'm throwing that up tomorrow. Like I said, not every day over there, but as many times as I can, and if I got time, I will put one together. Anyways, so that's going on over there, the Late Late Horror Show. Thank you guys all for here. The Lego City. Let me explain why I haven't been doing streams here that often. Because I took on a huge task, and I will be playing some Michael Shayne very soon as I start to build this. And hopefully I can get through this, bag 6, 7, and 8. And that leads me with just 3 more, which I should be able to get done with one more stream. So we're going to take 3, 4 streams probably for this. And then I'll do a real in-depth with the camera like I did last time for the Lego Haunted House. Chris W. Hey, Chris. Let me tell you what is going on with the Lego City. Let me explain this to you. Again, that's why I haven't had any live streams here. Because I'm working on this live. But then late at night, I'm working on the Lego City. I just built a bridge that goes from Central Park and crosses the street and goes over to the amusement park. And the amusement park is going to be such a big part of this Lego City, Dino Brookhaven, that it's not even funny. I bought the roller coaster, Lego roller coaster, and I had no idea that it was as big as it is, and it takes up a lot of room. So between the two, so I'm working on that, and I've got the first one built, which I should have left it over here so I could show you guys the scale of the half of the roller coaster. You know what? I could get up and go get it. If you guys want me to go get it and just bring it over here, I could bring the half that I did over here and show you guys real quick. I'll set it right over there is what I'll do. I'm going to walk in front of the camera. I just want to show you guys what I'm doing. And this is half of the roller coaster, just so you can get scale. And then I'm going to start building this. So let me go over there and get it. MOR, what is going on? JLR, good to see you. Much love, hugs to you all. Let me go get that and show you guys what a whopping, gigantic coaster this is. I should have left it here, but I'm going to have to get up, walk away, and I'll keep talking. So hopefully you guys can hear me still. as I go get to the other side over by Dino Brookhaven. That's right. I'm going over to Dino Brookhaven. Oh, look at the city. I'm going to pick this up very gently, and I'm going to put it down very gently as I walk in front of the mirror really quick. This is not very professional of me, but I don't care. That's all right. Let me move this over, this over. Let me put the coaster here. I think that can get... Hello, everybody. What's going on? All in the picture. I should have left that there, but let's see. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let me pull this up real quick. Yeah, okay. You can kind of see that. Let me move it over here just a little bit. This is... There we go. That is half of the roller coaster. Half. The other half extends way out to here. It's twice as big and just a little bit longer than this one right here. An evening of old time radio. Hey, Greg, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. So yes, this is the first half, and this is how tall it is. And I love the lettering on the front of the coaster. It looks awesome. I love that. They did the letters so well. But the roller coasters come into form, and this is such a big set, it's taken me a long time to do. I'm doing it at night. Otherwise, I would have finished this up, and we would almost be done. But I'm doing 2 projects at one. Plus, I'm pushing that over now, so I got room to build, and you can see what I'm doing. But that's the roller coaster, you guys. There's going to be a loop coaster. There's going to be bumper cars. There's some activity going on. You just wait till a week, and I'm doing an update video. Not to mention the ships in the harbor. So lots going on. Hey, Raj, what is going on? Raj, my friend. We will be listening to some Michael Shane. I know, I'm a little excited when I talk about this because the bridge I just built is perfect. It goes over the city street. I was trying to figure out how do I get from the city to the amusement park, which takes up 2 large 7-foot tables so it's like 7 foot long by 6 feet wide, something like that. So that's going to be the entire amusement park, man. Kathy, what is going on? Good to see you here, Kathy. Yeah, wow, this reminds me of the Giant Dipper wooden coaster from Santa Cruz. We had one too. It was called the Big Dipper at Geauga Lake, which was an amusement park that is now shut down, unfortunately. But hello to you all. Good to see you. And that's just an update on what's going on. Very busy with everything. My life is so busy, I can't even begin to explain it to you. But we are here tonight to continue building this food truck again, which most of you probably have seen what I've done so far. We've got the inside kind of is all built. Like you see all of that right there. The flooring, and then we moved up to the front, you know, where they drive and all that, then the grill and all of that stuff. So, but I will be doing a thorough video on an up close on the 4th probably. So yeah, that's about it, you guys. And I think we can get ready and start doing this. Let's see. Yes, I've been meaning to drop in and talk to you. Stir fry cross. Sweet Indigo. D. Hey D, what's going on? Yes, and when I do that, I will have the little table. And when I need that, especially for the modulars, I will be building on that actual spinning board that Dee told me about there. So, but yes, AJ, what's going on? AJ Starhiker, good to see you. So with all of that, One Sean Bond, hello, what is going on? Good to see you. Let me see, who else is in here? Andrea is here. I don't want to miss saying hi to anybody. Much love, you guys. Love seeing every one of you guys here. Again, I'm going to get building now. I'm going to do my thing now that I updated you on everything that's going on in the Lego world over there. Again, I can't wait to show you the update video and all the little things I've done. It's unbelievable. The road has extended farther out in a bigger loop too, because I extended another table on the other side of the city itself. So lots of stuff going on. Lots of stuff going on. So 6:50 it is right now here, East Coast time. I am going to begin. Did you get a package? Oh, D, yes, D. Thank you so much. She went to my Amazon link on the Late Late Horror Show underneath, and I had some Lego sets. And D bought me the large semi with a helicopter on the back. It's with my son because I'm giving the little sets to my son to build so he can help me. But I wish I could show you it here. I'm so sorry. I will when it's finished. But D got me the semi with the helicopter. And D, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I love you, man. Thank you. Anyways, yes, D. And so with that, I am going to start. You're going to need to buy a bigger house or some digging and excavating in the basement. Well, the thing is, I still think I've got plenty of room. And then if you use your brain a little bit, I think there's a way of making a hill to where I go up to, I think I said this before, where I go up to like a higher level and with a shelf type, it's hard to explain, like a shelf above the city where it looks like the background is a large hill going up to a plateau where I could put some other features and things I build. So there's a ways of getting around that, plus expanding. So yes, listen, I'll work my way out of the room and up. Here, the city now takes this escalator or elevator up to the next level. Listen, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Rather do that than pay. Post more cheaper says I can't afford. No, D, yes. Listen, I appreciate everything everybody does and helps out and supports. And listen, I can't believe I gathered enough people to get me to 586 subscribers on this channel now. Seems like a little dinky little number, but it's, this is just something I love, and I'll be doing this Lego channel and the Late Late Horror Show for many years to come. I mean, it's part of my life, my hobby, things I love to do. So it's always going to be live, and unless something happens to me, and God forbid that never happens. But anyways, Lizzie is here. Good to see you. But good point and evening. And again, always check out, especially on the Late Late Horror Show. Pretty soon, I'll be able to start doing subscription or memberships on this channel and all that. So nice things coming with that too, because I guess YouTube lowered it to 500 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So I've got the subscribers now. And all I need is about half of what I got right now in watch hours. And then I could put memberships and stuff like that, which every little bit helps out, especially when you're doing what I do. You guys know all the long story. Anyways, let's get started. Michael Shane, as I start to build, here we go. I am going to play to kick us off. Oh, and I got to go get the instructions up too. And I will do that as soon as I start this first show. I will start off, I feel like I'm in the mood for, listen, detectives all the time, noir, Dragnet, Richard Diamond, Johnny Dollar, Nick Carter, Michael Shane tonight. I'm going to play some Michael Shane. But they're all great, and they're all great to, Sherlock Holmes, how could I forget that? They're all great to listen to over and over and over again, right? Tony, hello, Dino, I'm watching you on my Roku box. You know what? If you're on a big screen, you'll be able to see a lot more detail because you can only get the camera so big on phones and tablets and stuff. But very, very cool. D, thank you for the support, kindness, and generosity to Dino. Listen, do I deserve it? Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And yes, I try my best to entertain, to make people's days better, to spread love, happiness, joy. I may complain from time to time here, especially on the Late Horror Show, but all's good. Did give you a shout out there, Greg, Evening Old Time Radio. I'm like, when I'm not streaming, if you want somebody who actually cares about the old time radio shows, you actually take pride in what you're doing, unlike some of these other channels. But anyways, enough of that. I blubbered on about that on my stream last night. So let's listen to Oh, and I mentioned MOR too. I thought that was a unique way, if you want to go see special themed old time radio shows. Again, he had Wizard of Oz. Well, how'd you put that? They're themed, like, the shows, old time radio shows with pirate ships in it or something like that. So there's cool stuff. MOR is doing some neat little things there too. And so, yeah, there you go. So let's listen to Michael Shane from 1945, Recreate a Murder. And as you guys are listening, when I can, I will show you what I've done. And hopefully I get through a bit here. I want to get through Bags 8, especially through Bags 8. So here we go. Recreate a Murder. I like this one. I really like
The Adventures of Michael Shane, Private Detective. The people who make 76 gasoline and Triton motor oil, Union Oil Company, present The Adventures of Michael Shane, Private Detective, starring Wally Mayer and Kathy Lewis. Many an exciting case crosses the desk of our detective friend Mike Shane. Right now, there's something special on that desk. Bending over it are Mike, his assistant Phyllis Knight, and Inspector Faraday. Shh, watch. Mike frowns grimly. Then slowly, carefully, he turns to the next page of Lear magazine.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Mike, where did they get that picture of you?
Oh, no. A day from the life of Mike Shane, San Francisco's sophisticated sleuth. Oh, anything for a story. If they were going to write about me, why didn't they interview me?
What are you kicking about is publicity. That super sleuth, that maestro of the clue, that glamour boy of detectives.
Yeah. Hey, here's a picture of both of us. Handsome detective inspects scene of society murder.
Oh.
The willowy damsel on his left is Mike's current heart in... Hey, current. I like that.
Oh, sure. It seems Mike is a wizard with the ladies. But read all about it on page 7.
I'm packing my bags and heading for the mountains.
Spare the suitcase. This may be a client.
Oh.
Hello? Yes, this is his secretary. I'm sorry, he's busy right now.
Who is it?
Oh? Oh, yes. When?
Who is it? Shh.
Tonight. 7:30. Well, I'm sure he'd be delighted to come.
Honey,
Yes?
I'd be delighted to what? What?
Shh. Certainly, I'll tell him. Thank you very much, Miss Melton. Goodbye.
Now, what have you got me into?
Your magazine story is paying dividends already, Mr. Shane. You and I are going to attend one of the exclusive parties of Miss Sherry Melton.
Oh, no, not that sob sister.
But, of course, she gives such different parties. And her newspaper column, why, she might write you up, too.
Yeah, well, I can skip that.
Kids, I don't like this setup. I don't like it at all.
Even say that again.
No, Mike, you don't understand. I'm invited to the same party.
You?
Huh?
Yeah, she called me up. I told her I liked parties, but being inspector of homicide, I never know about my evenings. Then she said I had to come because she was going to recreate a murder.
Oh, one of those things.
Mike, I'm leery of this sort of stuff. Something always goes wrong.
What do you mean?
It seems someone always gets hurt.
Well, but why is she doing it? What's her reason? What goes?
Not what, darling. Who goes? And the answer? We do. Say, you know something? This is a real party, and in such an attractive house. Don't you think so, huh, Mike?
My collar's too tight. I told you I can't wear a tuxedo. I feel like a pallbearer.
Mr. Shane. Why, you're much handsomer than in that magazine. You should wear a tuxedo on every case.
Miss Melton, this is my... well, this is Miss Phyllis Knight.
How do you do, Miss Melton?
Oh, yes. Well, come on into the lounge. I want you to meet everybody. You know, the party tonight is just a mad inspiration. The other day I was having lunch with Freddie. Oh, you know Freddie, the senator from Kansas or Florida or someplace. And I said, darling, I'm going to give a party. And, oh, wait, here's a man I want you to meet. Sherwood.
Yes, my little butterball.
Miss Knight, this is Sherwood Armstrong.
Oh, the mystery story writer. How do you do?
Rather bored up to this moment.
My little butterball. I had an aunt who, that wasn't her name, but everybody called her Butterball. And it reminds me of these because it's an old term. It's every time I hear Butterball, it cracks me up. Anyways, I thought I'd throw that in there.
But now I see possibilities.
Sherwood, before you ask her out onto the balcony to talk over story ideas, you better check with Mr. Shane here.
I'm glad to know you, Mr. Armstrong.
Wish I could say the same, sir. I've always admired your ability, and now your good taste.
Oh,
in,
go away with you, you wretch. I want these people to meet somebody really important.
Well, I'll be back.
Oh, there's our man, the one with the big glasses and bushy hair. Dr. Kaler.
Yes?
Dr. Kaler, Michael Shane, and Miss Phyllis Knight.
How do you do?
Madam? Mr. Shane.
Dr. Kaler studied psychology in Vienna, and he writes all those fascinating books on dreams and why people commit murder.
Oh, Miss Melton, please.
Of course, we've all heard of you, Doctor. One of our best criminologists. Mike, you must read some of his books.
Yes, I must.
Sherry, may I see you a moment, please?
Oh, Ray, I almost forgot you. Ray and I used to work on the same newspaper in Chicago. Look, darling, I want you to meet a publisher.
Dr. Kaler, I'd love to read some of your books. You must tell me which one to start on first.
You are very kind, madam, but I'm afraid you would find them very technical and perhaps dull.
Oh, no. And if I can't understand what you mean, I'll ask Mike to explain it to me. He's a wonderful student, you know. You should see his library.
You really should, Doctor.
Huh?
He's got a complete file of Esquire.
Faraday. Well, I was wondering where you were.
Get you. Tuxedo and patent leather shoes. By the way, Doctor, how are you coming with that next book?
Very well indeed, thank you.
Well, then you two know each other.
Oh, sure. Dr. Kaler's helped me out with several cases. Now, jealous, are you?
Oh, of course I'm not.
Wait a minute. Miss Melton's trying to say something.
We are now going to have a buffet supper. After that, I have a surprise for you. I won't tell you what it is, but I'll give you a hint. It's murder. Quiet, everybody. Quiet, please. I've brought all of you upstairs to this bedroom because we're going to play a game.
Oh, I don't care what Faraday says, Mike. This is going to be fun, huh?
Now,
Bedroom
I want
games.
4 of my guests to pay particular attention. Inspector Faraday.
Yes?
Mr. Shane.
Yes?
Dr. Kaler.
I'm ready.
And Sherwood Armstrong. Sherwood, will you look around this room and tell us what you see? Besides people.
Well, let's see. A double bed. Nightstand. Telephone. 2 chairs and a bureau.
Yes. Does anything about it look familiar to you?
No.
How about you, Dr. Kaler?
It's a complete mystery.
Inspector Faraday?
Well, the arrangement and spacing of furniture does look familiar to me. Reminds me of the bedroom of a man who was recently murdered.
You're right, Inspector. The bedroom of John Himes.
Oh, yes.
I've arranged everything to duplicate his bedroom. And tonight, we're going to reenact the murder.
Mike, that killing's never been solved.
As you all know, I like to give unique parties. So I've invited 4 famous crime experts here tonight to give us their own solutions of this unsolved mystery. Mr. Shane, do you know the details of the case?
Well, fairly well. It happened about 2 months ago. John Himes was a rich old miser. He was found shot to death in his bedroom with the doors and windows locked from the inside. The only suspect was his secretary, and he had a watertight alibi.
Is that right, Inspector?
It is?
All right. Now, you, Dr. Kaler, will be John Hines.
I'm making the
Lie down on
side
the
door
bed, please.
tedious.
Oh, now, hurry up. Don't be so shy, Doctor.
All right.
And you, Sherwood, you will be the killer. Stand outside the door till we call you.
This is very exciting.
Yes.
Now, as Inspector Faraday tells us what happened that night, Dr. Kaler and Sherwood will act it out for us. Now, if you please, Inspector.
Well, it's about midnight. John Hines is in bed, probably asleep. Doors and windows are locked. Somebody comes to his hall door.
All right, Sherwood.
Hines thinks it's his secretary. He gets out of bed, goes to the door, he unlocks and opens it. The killer enters. At first, there's no struggle, no outcry.
Oh, careful, Dr. Kaler. Put on your glasses. You can't see where you're going.
Of course not, madam. Neither could Mr. Himes. If he had worn his glasses, he would have seen it was not his secretary.
Correct, Doctor. The killer advances into the room, demands the old man hand over the cash he has hidden in the house. The old fellow refuses. The killer insists. He raises his gun and then... What the...
Mike!
We'll return to the adventures of Michael Shayne and Phyllis Knight in just a moment. Simply because your automobile engine is rated at a certain horsepower doesn't mean it's delivering that rate. Worn or burned out spark plugs, for example, can actually cut down the horsepower of your engine even at full throttle. You see, high compression engines demand complete instant firing. If any of your spark plugs are worn or improperly adjusted, you get a weak, sputtering fire which fails to ignite all the gasoline. So serious is this loss that engineering tests prove faulty spark plugs can waste 1 tankful of gasoline out of every 10. So, friends, if you're not absolutely certain your spark plugs are firing properly, why not play safe and have your Union Oil Minuteman check them? The performance of each separate plug is accurately measured on a scientific tester, and you can see the results for yourself. If your plugs are dirty, the Minuteman will clean and adjust them to the proper setting. If they're burned or worn out, he can furnish you with a new set. Union Oil spark plug service takes but a few minutes and costs but a few cents, a cost you'll soon save in extra mileage. You'll find Union Oil Minutemen ready to serve you wherever you see the sign of the big orange and blue 76. And remember, next Monday night, Michael Shayne comes to you 1 half hour earlier, 8 o'clock instead of 8:30. An unsolved murder is being reenacted at Sherry Melton's society party. Suddenly, at the very climax of the scene...
Mike!
Everybody stay where you are. Who fired that shot? Armstrong did. He had the gun. I saw him.
Don't be ridiculous, Ray. I was just faking a gun with my pipe.
Please, is anyone hurt?
Oh, no, only your dignities. 4 famous crime experts, and they don't know a fake gunshot from the real thing.
What? You mean it was a phony?
Of course. I slapped this yardstick here on the bed pillow.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Very amusing.
What a
perfect
smart
example
aleck
of
woman.
mass psychology and suggestion.
Now let's get on with the crime. You've been shot, Dr. Kaler, so stretch out on the floor.
Yes, perhaps like this beside the bed.
Oh, that's perfect. You make a very convincing corpse, Doctor. And now, Inspector, if you'll just go on.
Well, there's nothing more to tell. The killer didn't find the money he was after, so he slipped out of the house again.
Perfect crime, eh? Well, if the police couldn't solve it, I can. Oh, at least I will in my next book. That's where a writer has it all over. The police.
Oh, we'll solve it, Mr. Armstrong. In fact, just this evening, I got a fresh angle on the case, which I can't tell anyone yet.
Wow. That means a neat headline. Sherry Melton's party gives police answer to a puzzling murder.
Oh, always the news hawk, Ray. But meanwhile, let's play my game. You 4 masterminds have 30 minutes to solve the mystery. You're each to go to a different room so you can't compare notes. In 30 minutes, we'll vote who has the most exciting solution. And the prize, champagne, of course.
Hurry up.
I like this episode because it's like, you know, it's like the murder, like solve a murder dinners you go to now that's out there. I haven't been to one, but they've got the games too, you know, like Clue, you know, whatever. But That's why I like this episode. Might be one of my favorites at the moment of Michael Shayne. And it kind of reminds you. Somebody said pie. Are we talking Three Stooges? Is that what we're talking about?
Mike, we've got just 10 minutes to go.
Oh, honey, of all the dimwit stunts, this is it.
Come on.
We can spend all night dreaming up solutions, but none of them will be right. Crimes aren't solved by slapstick.
It's just a game.
Oh.
Think up something really dramatic. I want you to be brilliant tonight, Mike. We've got a famous criminologist and a mystery story writer. Show 'em what we can do.
Oh, we? What was that? Huh?
Mike, what was that?
Sounded like outside. Come on, come on.
Mike, it's an accident or something outdoors.
Let's go.
I'm coming too. Oh, it can't be an auto smash-up. There's nothing on the street.
Oh, sounded closer to the house. Anyway, maybe here on the grounds.
Can I help, gentlemen?
I don't know, Doctor. We got to search the garden. I got a flashlight in my car.
So have I, Inspector. I'll get it.
Okay, let's spread out. Search both sides of the house.
Right, I'll take the left wing here. No, Angel, not you.
But, Mike, I want to.
No, you're not going to prowl around through bushes in the dark. Now, go on, beat it.
Oh, all right, you old worrywart.
Who's that? Answer me. Who is it?
An elk looking for his lodge.
Oh, Faraday. Well, did you find anything on your side?
Nah, too dark. Ray was supposed to bring me his flashlight. I got tired of waiting.
Well, come on, let's go get our own flashlights.
Mike? Inspector? Where are you?
Coming.
Maybe we're just chasing our own tails. If this is another one of that woman's party gags.
It isn't. It isn't, Faraday.
Huh?
What I just found doesn't belong at any party.
Found what?
On the running board of Faraday's car. A dead body.
Stand back, everybody. We can't see what we're doing.
Looks like he was knocked out first and then strangled with his own tie.
Oh, but who would want to kill Ray, and why?
What was he doing on my running board? He said he was going to get the flashlight from his car.
Well, that's fairly simple, Inspector. Miss Melton says that's his sedan right behind yours. Looks like a rental. But it's the same make, model, and year.
Sure, he thought he was getting into his own car.
Did any of you people see anybody come near this car?
Not me.
Only this night. We were all looking for the cause of that crash.
Oh, I forgot. I found the cause.
Huh?
Here's what's left of it.
Looks like a table lamp.
An expensive one, too. It was at the end of the hall upstairs. Somebody must have thrown it out the window. The cook found it in a flower box.
That's it. Smashed on purpose to get us outdoors.
But why? I'm the only person Ray knew in town. I invited him here to
In the
the
flower
party
box, like Rear Window.
so he wouldn't be lonely. I invited him to his death.
No one saw the killer. No one has a motive. Where do we go from here?
First off to the telephone. I got to call headquarters.
Just a minute, Inspector. Phil, stay here and see that nobody touches the body.
All right, Mike.
Now, Faraday, what is it you know about the murder of John Himes? What is it the killer's afraid of?
Huh? I don't get you, Mike.
Did you take a good look at Ray Rogers' body just now?
Of course.
No, you didn't. Not a good look. Ray Rogers was just about your height. He had the same stooped shoulders, same gray hair.
Holy jumping. And he was getting into my car.
Exactly. Somebody made a mistake, Inspector. Somebody wants to kill you.
This is the window right here, Mr. Shane. You can see it's still raised.
Mm-hmm.
The lamp fell into the flower box on the ground floor.
Yeah, but it's so smashed up. And you've handled it. I guess fingerprints are out.
But we know that the killer was here on the second floor. Miss Melton, can you place everybody at the moment you heard the crash?
Well, no, I was in my bedroom fixing my hair.
And where is your bedroom?
Through this door here. Oh, but Sherwood, you were in the room across the hall.
Take it easy, Sherry. You put me in there because of the contest. I was cooking up a solution for the murder. Of John Himes.
Well, how about you, Dr. Kaler? You were in the next bedroom down the hall.
I cannot oblige, madam. I also was deep in thought.
Well, I guess no one saw the man then. The inspector and Mr. Shane were downstairs, so were all the other guests.
As a writer of murder thrillers, I'd say the man came here with no idea of killing. Ray was strangled with his own tie, so the man was without a gun.
You assume the unknown, Mr. Armstrong.
The victim was strangled, which is a masculine technique in murder. Therefore, a clever woman with a strong arm might choose that very method.
Yes, a red herring. That's very clever, Dr. Keeler.
Miss Melton, I know you're famous for unusual parties, but why did you decide to reenact a murder tonight?
Why, it was just an inspiration of mine. Then Sherwood suggested we do the case of John Himes.
Hmm?
I interviewed the old man once, and yes, I even covered his inquest for my paper.
I see. Sherwood Armstrong suggested it. When we entered your contest, you asked all of us if the room and furniture looked familiar. You, Mr. Armstrong, said not at all.
Well, that was just an act. Sherry and I knew you'd made sketches of the actual scene, and we wanted to trip you up if we could and get a laugh.
But why did you pick the particular murder of John Himes?
I knew him. He was a fan of mine, read all my books.
So you and Miss Melton both knew him.
That is hardly a crime, Inspector. I, too, knew Mr. Himes. We were members of the same club. However, it is disturbing that they should choose that particular unsolved crime. As a psychologist, I know the subconscious desire of every killer to confess his murder. Some return to the scene. Some even talk about it to strangers. The criminal's subconscious feels cheated of the drama, the notoriety which comes with his confession or capture.
Look here, I don't like the drift of this talk.
Well, I apologize, my friend. I'm always going off into a lecture. I'm sure neither of you is guilty. None of us is. We have no motives.
Here come my boys. Well, it's about time. You ready, Mike?
All set. Honey, get your coat.
Are we leaving?
Yes, we are. The answer to Ray Rogers' death isn't here. It's in a house that's been padlocked for 2 months.
Place is dusty.
Did you expect John Himes' ghost to meet us with a vacuum cleaner?
If I remember right, this is the bedroom. Yeah, it is. We left everything in place. Nothing's been changed.
The old guy was a miser, all right. Not enough furniture for a dollhouse.
Inspector, you told us tonight you had a new idea about this case. What was it?
That's the blood stain over there, Mike, in front of the telephone stand.
Inspector, what was it? Maybe it's our solution.
Don't bother him, honey. Hey, there's the print of a shoe here on the edge of the blood.
Yeah. The killer made it. Wore tennis shoes. We tried to trace it.
How about fingerprints?
All identified. Well, except for one. Probably an old print. Maybe some visitors. Couldn't match it up with our files anyway.
You said his secretary lived with Himes. You sure of his alibi?
Positive, Phil. Nice young fella. He got a phone call in the afternoon that his uncle was dying down at Carmel. He got to Carmel in the evening, and it turned out to be a fake call. The murderer just wanted him out of the way.
Well, he could have sneaked back that night and...
No, he had witnesses. In fact, he telephoned long distance about midnight to tell Himes he'd be back in the morning.
Yeah, I remember it now. The operator said somebody answered the phone but didn't say a word. Just hung up.
Yeah. We figured the murderer picked up the receiver to hear who was calling. He cleaned the receiver afterwards and put it back. That's when he stepped in the blood.
It doesn't add up, though, Inspector. There's only one shoe print. Now, he couldn't possibly stand here and reach over to the phone on that table. It's too far.
Well, does it matter?
Wait a minute. Let me try something. If I put one foot on the blood stain here and then my knee on this chair, I can... Yeah. Now I can reach it.
Say, come to think of it, that's where we found the stray fingerprints. Right where you got your hands right now, on the back of that chair.
Okay, now we're clipping coupons. That fingerprint belongs to the killer of John Himes and Ray Rogers.
All right, but whose print is it? The inspector doesn't know.
Well, we'd better know, and in a hurry. The murderer tried to get Faraday once tonight. He'll try again, and the next time, who knows?
In just a moment, we'll rejoin Mike and Phyllis in their adventures. A few minutes ago, we mentioned some of the advantages of Union Oil's spark plug service. Now, as a featured part of this service, the Minutemen will also inspect your ignition cables. These are the small, thin wires which deliver electricity to the spark plugs. Naturally, if any of them are defective, even brand new spark plugs won't receive enough juice for proper firing. In other words, a faulty ignition cable will leak electricity. So for a complete, accurate check on your car's firepower, have the Minutemen service your spark plugs and ignition cables. You'll notice the increased power and snap in your engine as soon as you drive away. You'll find Union Oil Minutemen ready to serve you wherever you see the sign of the big orange and blue 76. It is midnight. Mike, Phyllis, and Inspector Faraday are at headquarters. Mike and Phyllis are bent over a desk studying a police file.
No luck, kids.
Huh?
Boys recheck those fingerprints. None on record.
But we've got to have it, Faraday. Your life may depend on it.
All right, there are 130 million people in the United States. Shall I ask every one of them to mail me their prints?
Oh, easy, Inspector, easy.
Well, we're stymied. That's all there is to it.
Well, we'll keep on trying. Phil and I have been going through the coroner's report here. So far, nothing new.
The bullet entered skull immediately below right ear. Death was almost instantaneous. Deceased fell to floor in position shown in photographs. The eyeglasses held in his left hand were crushed and embedded in his palm. In the opinion of the doctors...
Hey, wait a minute. Hold it. What was Himes doing with the eyeglasses in his hand? He was nearsighted.
Oh, we covered that at the party tonight, Mike. He probably never put his glasses on. That's why he mistook the killer for his own secretary.
Why do we have to assume that? Why not the opposite?
Opposite? What do you mean?
Well, perhaps Himes was taking his glasses off.
So what? Does it make any difference?
Does it make any difference? Look, Faraday, look. All we need to get this killer are three things. A pair of tennis shoes, a set of fingerprints, and an address.
That's all. Just sit down and write ourselves a letter to Santa Claus.
No. We'll get the fingerprints from the police files.
But we just looked.
Not everywhere, Inspector. We'll get the address from the phone book and the tennis shoes at that address.
Yeah, see? There's times I would love to see Edward G. Robinson playing it. Listen, I know he did old time radio. What was it, My Town? Or Big Town? Anyways, I would love him to do like a Michael Shane. You say, get out of here, say. I mean, can you imagine him playing Michael Shane? Love Edward G. Robinson.
Well, party doesn't sound quite as lively as it did a few hours ago.
Mike, that paper sack, everybody will know their shoes. Carry it like a bottle of champagne.
Quiet. Here comes our hostess.
Well, at last. We thought you'd never get back. My guests want to go home.
Oh, they can shortly. Where are they?
In the bar, most of them.
Sheer escapism, gentlemen. Personally, I prefer this book of poetry.
Shakespeare's sonnets. How nice.
What's wrong with a copy of Sherwood Armstrong? Any luck, boys?
Well, I think so. How about it, Inspector?
Dr. Kaler, you're an expert on fingerprints. I have on these cards 2 sets of fingerprints. Will you examine them and tell us if they're identical?
Certainly. This whorl here and the lines. They're identical.
Do you recognize them?
No.
Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize them?
No, I don't.
And Miss Melton?
Why, no. But I'm not an expert.
May I ask where you got these prints?
From the back of a chair in the bedroom of John Himes. The second card is from the file of honorary members of the police force.
Oh, I mean, isn't that strange?
You were about to say, Miss Melton, that you, too, have been an honorary policeman for the past 3 years?
Yes. Oh, but surely you don't think that
I never did like the idea of your parlor entertainment, Miss Melton. When I came here tonight, I expected that something might go wrong. Or at least that the murder of John Himes might be present.
Now, just a minute, Inspector. I think you're going
I told you people I had a new angle on the murder. Actually, I didn't know a thing. It's an old trick making the murderer think you have the answer. He'll stampede and give himself away.
Which is exactly what happened. The killer tried to remove the inspector, but he made a mistake out there in the dark. He got the wrong man. Now, I have here in this paper bag a pair of tennis shoes worn by the murderer. May I ask you, gentlemen, what size shoes you wear?
A number 9.
Also a 9.
I see. But the night you killed John Himes, you wore an 8.5, Dr. Kaler.
The night I... Sir, this is a joke.
Is anyone laughing? The sole of this left shoe shows traces of blood. The blood of John Himes, the blood you stepped in when you answered the phone in that bedroom.
But no, they are not my shoes. I do not play tennis.
You bought them because they were noiseless, Doctor. We found them in the closet in your room at your club.
And the fingerprints are from your honorary police card.
You convicted yourself, Doctor, when you reenacted the crime. You pointed out to us that Himes mistook the visitor for his own secretary because he hadn't put on his glasses. The crime was so vivid in your memory that you unconsciously repeated it to the last detail. Your own subconscious was what trapped you, Doctor.
The man with the squeaky shoe.
Golly, Mike, I wish that magazine had waited a few days. Now, they really have something to write about. Mike Shane outwits famed criminologists.
Well, I'd say the honors go equally to our friend and companion, Inspector Faraday.
Oh, I don't know. But all I did was to smoke him out with a big wiseack.
No, what gets me, kids, is why Kaler did it. He hardly knew John Himes. He had no motive.
He told us the motive, honey. His own vanity. The great criminologist commits the perfect crime. It's like a case out of the last book he published.
Mike Shane, you didn't tell me you'd read any of his books.
Oh, every one of them, honey. And I can show you a book at my apartment he wrote back in 1937. And on one of the pages I scribbled, "Someday this man's going to commit a murder."
Oh, and I thought I was the only one who suspected him.
What?
Oh, now look, Angel.
Why, you were draped on Kayla's arm all evening. Why, Dr. Kayla, how clever of you. Shakespeare's sonnets. How utterly wonderful.
Oh, I was just playing up to him. I knew.
Oh, you did? How?
Mike Shane, I suspect any man who parts his hair in the middle.
This is Mike Shane again.
And this is Phyllis.
Both reminding you that next Monday evening we'll be on the air 1/2 hour earlier. Same night, same station.
Remember, won't you? Mike and Phyllis at 8 o'clock next Monday. Good night, all.
Tune in again next week at 8 o'clock for another adventure with Michael Shane, Private Detective, starring Wally Mayer and Kathy Lewis, with Joe Forte as Inspector Faraday. Tonight's story was written by Richard DeGraff and based on the character created by Brett Halliday. Music was composed and directed by Bernard Katz. This is John Lang saying goodnight for the people who make 76 gasoline and Triton Motor Oil, Union Oil Company. This is the Mutual Don Lee Broadcasting System.
Okay, Recreate a Murder, Michael Shane, 1945. Specifically, January, February, March, April, May 28th, 1945. How do you like that? I love that episode. That's just a great episode. Some of these you can just listen over and over and over. Listen to me. I think we have, right? We've listened to all of these many, many times. It's the joy we get out of them. You start from the beginning, you go through everything, and then you start back to the beginning again. Anyways, let's do another one. What I'm doing at the moment. Oh, what did I do? No, let me go to here. Yeah, there we go. Right now, I think I'm just building maybe the roof of the van, if you can kind of see that. It's just little tedious work, putting all of these together. Talking about tedious work, repetitiveness, this roller coaster, man, all these columns, same thing over and over again. But if you're sitting down, watching a movie, listening to music, or listening to old time radio, time flies, and you know, it's just very therapeutic. But anyways, yeah, that's all I'm doing right now. I'm just building, I think, the frame to the top of the van, which is probably going to go over this. But anyways, let's do another one. Let's see. Oh, no problems, D. No problems at all. Let's see. Looks good. D. Yeah, I should just give everybody one. It's a new channel, but no, I can't go overboard. Listen, I love y'all, but yeah. Anyways, let's see. I'm sticking with Michael Shane tonight. I think the next one I'll play, and again, we've heard these a million times, but Murder Trial of Jack Holmes. How about we listen to that one? A week before, May 21st, 1945. Michael Shayne, Murder Trial of Jack Holmes. Here we go. Enjoy.
The Adventures of Michael Shayne, Private Detective. The people who make 76 gasoline and Triton Motor Oil, Union Oil Company, present The Adventures of Michael Shayne, Private Detective, starring Wally Mayer and Kathy Lewis. If some of you have wondered where Mike Shayne has been during regular office hours the past few days, you'll find the answer on the front page of this evening's San Francisco papers. That's right, the murder trial of Jack Holmes. At this moment, which is along about 6:30, Phyllis Knight has one of those newspapers spread out on the desk before her. As she glares at the headlines, Mike is talking on the phone to Inspector Faraday.
Yeah, Faraday, yeah, I just got back from court.
Didn't take the jury long to decide. Less than 2 hours, Mike.
That boy is no more guilty than I am. Sure, somebody killed the watchman, but not Jack Holmes.
Now, don't take it so hard, Mike, just because his sweetheart hired you to investigate.
All right. Maybe I'm sentimental about those two kids, but I say Jack Holmes isn't the killer type. And with a nice girl like Janet Miley, Faraday, I let him down, and Janet was so certain I could help him.
Take it easy, Mike. You did your best, but the evidence was against you.
Yeah, sure it was. Is that unusual? Why, I've cleared dozens of guys when it looked like...
Janet, what's wrong?
Hello, Mike.
I'll talk to you later, Faraday. The girl's just walked in.
Janet, are you sick? You're white as a sheet.
Here, get her some water, honey, quick.
Yeah.
Mr. Shayne.
Yes?
Jackie.
Yeah?
Jackie.
Oh, here, sit down, honey. Let me help you.
Oh, the poor kid. She's all unstrung about the verdict.
No, it's more than that. Her hands are like ice.
He didn't do it. I just discovered
What?
the grocery.
What? Janet, what are you trying to say, honey?
My room. Somebody went through.
Huh?
Just...
Here, Janet, drink this water. Janet?
12:15. I just discovered. I went and told him. Thought he would.
Mike, she's fainted.
What
I'm going to call a doctor.
Phyllis.
Acting.
Yeah?
What acting?
Call Inspector Faraday. She's dead.
Okay, Mike, I fixed it. We can go to Jack's cell now.
All right. Now remember, honey, not a word about Janet's death. Jack will go all to pieces and we'll learn nothing.
I know, but it seems so hard-hearted.
This way, kids.
Ah, boy.
Sad business, I guess the girl figured after that jury's verdict she didn't have anything left to live for.
Suicide? No. If Janet found something she thought would clear Jack, she certainly wouldn't take poison.
Unless she took the poison before she got the information that would clear Jack.
No, then she would have called a doctor. If we can believe her dying words, she went first to some man, told him her discovery, then came to us. She didn't even know she was poisoned.
All right, but who did it? We only knew what she was trying to tell us.
Better pipe down. That's Jack's cell with a jailer standing outside.
Oh, yes, sir. Now let me do most of the talking.
All right, Morrissey, open it up.
Yes, Inspector.
Hello, Jack.
Hello.
How do you feel, Jack?
Oh, top of the world. It's so cheering to be condemned to death for a crime you didn't commit.
You had a fair trial, my boy. The jury could decide only on the evidence presented.
I told them I left the warehouse that night way before it happened. At 12:15, I was at home. But no, they take the word of that cab driver.
Yeah, I'll get that episode. We'll see how it is next, Raj. Sislovsky, there's more moderators than viewers in the chat. Well, it's because, well, not really. There's 25 watching, and there's maybe like 5 or 6 moderators. But I get what you're saying. It's always good to have moderators, and these people came over from the Late Horror Show where, they've been there for years. So, yes, I'm going to give them wrenches. Always good to have, right?
He did pick you up at the warehouse door, and he said the clock in the drugstore read 12:15. I checked the clock myself the next day. It was an electric, right on time.
So did I, Jack. Unless the cab driver was lying, and he seemed like an honest guy.
I see. Even my loyal detective, Mr. Shane, says I'm guilty.
Oh, no. No, Jack, you don't understand.
Go ahead. Say I killed the watchman. Say I stole the diamonds. You never were working for Janet and me.
Yes, we were, Jack, and we still are. That's why we're here. It's about Janet. She's not so good.
What? What are you trying to say?
She came to the office a little while ago and tried to tell us something, some new evidence she had found, but, well, she got sick.
What's wrong? Is she all right? Where is she?
Now, easy, son, easy. She's still at the office. She said a lot of mixed-up things, Jack. Her room had been ransacked, something about a grocery, that you weren't guilty, and she had discovered proof and told him so.
Him? Who's him?
Oh, that's what we don't know. Does Janet have any close men friends she might go to?
Not that I know of. We've been engaged for almost a year now. She never mentioned any. Our boss, Mr. Phillips, is a good friend of both of us.
Yes, yeah, he's paying the fee on the...
Well, this is why I try to do as much as I can during this live stream and play some shows and stuff like that, because it's hard to multitask and get done as quickly as possible. I'm going too slow. I mean, we've already been an hour and I haven't gotten through bag 6. So I know I'm going to have to do some of this off camera. But yes, Raj, Dino's Duck Soup. The unfortunate thing is, well, no, not unfortunate. A lot of comedies have so much music in it that they get dinged all the time. So it's whereas I really wanted that channel to take off, and I got a good amount of stuff up there. Every now and then I throw a series up on Dino's Duck Soup. But yeah, that's just for all comedy, and a lot of good stuff up over there. So I'm glad you enjoy that, Raj. But definitely, man, listen, between this and the Late Late Horror Show, just way too much to keep up with. But there's plenty of stuff, and every now and then I upload a new series to that channel. So yeah. I mean, it's got a good amount of people on there, and constantly gets a good amount of views and stuff like that still. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. Listen, there's plenty more Jack Benny, Gracie, and Alan that I can eventually get up on that channel too. So that channel will never be monetized, but that's okay. It's not all about that, that's for sure. It's just getting enough time to put them together, and I don't want to put crap up there too, because even as Greg knows, a lot of these just sound so bad, and it's a shame, because you can put a show up that sounds terrible quality, like really, really bad quality, if you just want people to hear the show, but it's just really hard to post them when they sound so bad. And even to try to fix them up, you can go through the cleaning process and raising and lowering the pitch and all that, and they still sound so bad and tinty that it's just, you can't fix some of the shows, unfortunately. I would say, let's see if I get this right. When it comes to old time radio shows, probably about maybe 60%, you're just not going to be able to clean up. You even if you clean them, you're going to make them worse than how bad they are, because it's going to be unintelligible. So that's the bad side. It kind of sucks, because there's even some episodes of like, well, most of the Johnny Dollar you can fix and make sound good, even the later ones. But anyways, you get the idea. Okay, continuing. Murder trial of Jack Holmes.
Case, she might have gone to him, or maybe to his partner.
Mr. Russell? Oh, no, not that old crap.
Well, why come to me? Janet's the one to tell you.
Well, as we said, Jack, she's all busted up over this thing, and
let me just say, this dude...
She isn't well.
Well, she can talk, can't she?
She can talk, can't she? It's like one of those bad actors on like the Charlie Chan movies or Sherlock Holmes movies. I don't know, he's just grates on me. I don't know.
She...
Jack.
I can see it in your faces. Something's happened to her. What is it? Tell me.
She's dead, isn't she? We're awfully sorry, son.
A big hug, sweet Indigo. And yeah, great. I figured you'd agree with me. You kind of know.
I see. You went out to my home, Mr. Shane. That's right, Mr. Phillips, and your wife told us you were working at the office this evening. Yes, Russell and I spent so many days in court on the trial. We had to work evenings to keep up with business.
Now, I wouldn't imagine there'd be such a turnover in the wholesale jewelry line.
You'd be surprised. Our firm cuts and mounts gems for at least half the better jewelry stores in the city.
And the robbery and loss of the diamonds didn't hurt your trade.
It would have, Inspector, except for the capture and trial of Jack Holmes. Of course, we're covered by insurance. If you'll step into the office.
Oh, Mr. Phillips. Mr. Phillips.
Yes, Bauer?
May I see you a moment, sir?
Yes, excuse me, please. Go right into the office.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Well, good evening, Mr. Russell.
Miss Russell?
Good evening.
I believe you and your sister know Inspector Faraday.
Of course.
Yes?
How are you, Inspector?
Fair enough, thanks. So the lady executives work nights around this company, too.
If she's the treasurer, she does.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting. And now, Mr. Shane, I suppose you'd like your fee, now that nothing more can be done for poor Jack.
Well, I'd hardly bring Inspector Faraday along just to collect the check, Mr. Phillips.
Well, I assume...
The case is cracked wide open again. Janet Miley has just died.
What?
Janet?
She was poisoned.
She staggered into our office about an hour ago, gasped out a few words, and she died.
I was afraid of this. Remember, Ann, I said to you, if the jury brought in a guilty verdict...
It wasn't
no...
suicide, Mr. Russell. I said she was poisoned.
Poisoned?
Her dying words were that she'd found new evidence and that she had gone to him, some man, and told him.
Well, of course, she came to me, but she didn't say anything about evidence.
What time was this, Mr. Phillips?
About 6 o'clock. She was crying in the...
You know, that's what I do on this channel. I interrupt when I see something in the chat. But yeah, that's the unfortunate thing, Vern, like you said, episode 2, the Barton case. Well, you know what? Well, no, I'm not going to ruin this one. Maybe I'll just show how bad the quality is next after this. Yeah, I mean, think of this, how much we pour our hearts and souls into a lot of these to try to fix and stuff like that. We'll come across an episode, and I'm not sure that one particularly, but some of them where you go, you know what, I'm going to attempt it, and I'm going to try to fix this episode because it needs to be heard. And it really is frustrating, and you almost get, oh my God, it's almost an OCD thing. We're at to a point when you're trying to fix one of these shows up, because you'll go through all the tools, and then you'll even try to look for other tools that could fix it when it doesn't work out. But when sometimes you're working on an episode for like an hour. I mean, this has happened, and because you just want to get it right, and then you go back and go, no, I think I did this wrong, and then you work another program to bring take the noise or whatever you're doing. But you're in it for like an hour and a half, and then you find out, you know what? There's no rescuing this episode. So I'm just trying to make a point that some people who really love what they're, putting their heart into fixing these old classics up and stuff like that, and really want to hear them themselves, put so much time and effort into like one episode, and then it doesn't work out, and you're like, I can just imagine how many hours and hours and hours have been put into trying to fix certain things, and that's just lost time. I mean, not really lost time. You get what I'm saying, though. But yeah, an evening of big time view. Yeah. It's you wouldn't even believe it. You wouldn't even believe it. But it takes a lot of patience. But the ones that never work out, it seems like time you want back. You know what I mean? But anyways, I'm sorry, I interrupted again. Listen, it's the murder trial of Jack Holmes. You guys know it.
Hysterical. Beg me to...
Does anybody not know how this one's going to turn out?
Help Jack to get a retrial or an appeal. I tried to comfort her.
Excuse me, Mr. Phillips, but I thought you'd like these invoices.
I'm very busy, Mr. Bauer.
Oh, yes, sir. I'll leave them here on the desk.
If Janet found any new evidence, it'd hardly be likely to clear Jack Holmes. I'm pretty well convinced that young man is a born criminal.
Mr. Russell, that's unfair.
Is it? Look at the court testimony. Phillips and I found shortages in Jack's account books. We called him back to the office that night to explain. He couldn't. Said he wanted to spend the night checking back through his records. Phillips and I left. Next thing we know, 1,300 carats worth of diamonds are missing. Night watchman's found dead.
You never found the diamonds?
Of course not. He hid them.
I'm afraid it's true. The watchman's clock was smashed. It stopped at 12:10. The cab driver picked up Jack at 12:15.
Mr. Bauer, would you mind leaving the room?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm sorry.
He's new here. Bauer is the nosiest secretary I've ever hired.
Now I remember.
Remember what?
Well, I was in the outer office this evening. When Janet came out of this room, Bauer stopped her. I heard him say something about going out to a bar and having a little chat.
I'm going to call him back.
A bar, eh?
Do you suppose the poison was slipped into a drink?
Mr. Bauer.
Yeah,
Oh, Mr. Bauer, hold on. Stop. Inspector, what's wrong? He's running for the front door.
Maybe he doesn't know how to sound.
We'll return to Michael Shayne and his adventures in just a moment. Week in and week out, a lot of motorists go along wondering why their engines lack power without realizing that much of their trouble may be due to dirty or worn-out spark plugs. Yes, that's right. Defective or worn spark plugs are to blame for a great deal of poor engine performance. For example, engineering tests show that faulty spark plugs can waste 1 tankful of gasoline out of every 10, which not only cuts down your mileage, but causes your engine to lose power. So, friends, if it's been 3,000 miles or more since your spark plugs were checked, or if your engine has been losing power, it's a pretty safe bet that the Union Oil Minuteman Spark Plug Service can do you some good. Union Oil spark plug inspection is scientifically performed. The condition of each plug is carefully measured on a special machine, and you can see the results for yourself. If your plugs are dirty, the Minuteman will clean and adjust them. Or if new plugs are indicated, he can quickly install them. The cost of this service is only a few cents per plug, and you'll soon save that in extra mileage. You'll find Union Oil Minutemen ready to serve you wherever you see the sign of the big orange and blue 76. While Inspector Faraday hurries off in pursuit of the fleeing Secretary Bauer, Mike and Phyllis have set off on an errand of their own, and now in the hallway of a certain apartment house.
303. Oh, here we are. 327. Not much better than here.
Just like that, I talk about it, and I get the episode where it starts off great, and then all of a sudden the static is driving me nuts. You got to understand, too, when I do play some of these on this channel in particular, I'm just popping up my folders of all these shows that are connected to the hard drive that I got over there. And sometimes, listen, in the beginning, I didn't name my folders and files correctly, like what's fixed and what isn't. So some of these I go through, I'm just clicking on them, doing a quick search, and I'll know usually if I get an episode that I didn't fix, or some of them just are good, but then there's portions of the shows too that are just staticky, and this one may go away pretty quick. I'm pretty sure it goes away pretty quickly, but anyways, whatever.
That Secretary Bauer, he's tied into this somehow. Snooping around to hear what we've said and then running from the inspector.
Well, leave that problem to Faraday, usual. Wow. The place looks all in order. Hey, wait a minute, honey. Her bed. It's not made up. It's cut to pieces.
Yeah, the stuffing pulled out of the mattress. What on earth were they looking for?
Let's go here. Let me see. Oh, the bathroom.
Mike, look at the medicine cabinet. And the floor.
Uh-huh. Bottles and jars scattered all over the place.
Oh, every one of them with its top or look at this cold cream jar. Here, the cream's been scooped out and dropped all over the basin.
Huh? Oh, that's an old trick, honey. Hiding gems in a woman's makeup.
Mike, you don't think that she had the diamond?
Well, somebody thought so. Maybe she did. No. No, that's too dizzy. Well, come on, let's check the other room again. Here. There's nothing worth looking into. A desk.
Yeah, somebody else found it, too. Drawers yanked out, everything's a mess.
I doubt if there's anything left for us, but I'll just double check. Bills, searching. No, just the usual stuff. Say, how about that wastebasket, honey?
How about it? Here.
Huh?
Put in my thumb and pulled out a plum. What a big girl am I?
Yeah. A check showing in half. Paid to the order of Janet Miley. $2,000. And signed by... Well, I'll be a...
Anne Elizabeth Russell. I think this note went with it, Mike. It's the same handwriting.
Janet, take this and do as I say. That's all. Take this and do as I say.
Which apparently Janet did not. $2,000 is a rather expensive no thanks.
Well, stuff this in your purse, Angel. We're about to go places and ask questions.
You know, if you ask me, Miss Russell...
Quiet. Please hit the door, quick. Snap off the lights. I'll flatten against the wall. I'll jump him when he comes in.
No, Mike.
All right, buddy. Come on, up with your hand. What? Let go of me, you dope. What? Faraday. You?
Yeah, me.
Oh, I thought you were chasing Bauer.
Got away. I phoned Phillips for Bauer's home address. Turned out to be a gas station.
Oh, a phony, eh? Well, we've got a lead that may be better. Come on, let's go.
Give the doorbell another push, Mike.
You know, I wish these people would stay put. First we go to their homes, but they're working at the office. Now they're not at the office, they're home.
Somebody's coming now.
Yes? Oh, it's you again.
Don't strain your enthusiasm, Mr. Russell. Maybe
Here we go. Bye-bye, Fred.
Yes?
Mr. Russell, we would like to talk to your sister.
Anne? Oh, well, she's upstairs.
Will you ask her to come down, please?
Yes, if you'll go into the living room. Anne? Oh, Anne, will you come downstairs? May I ask what you people want?
Oh, you'll hear it. Oh, by the way, sir, I believe your sister is treasurer of your company?
She is.
For how long?
6 or 7 years.
Treasurer. Did you hear him? Treasurer. Yeah, that Scratch is fighting for its life. It's trying to hold on. It's like, I'm sticking around.
How long was Janet Miley with your firm?
Several years. She worked in the same department with Jack Holmes. Look here, I insist on knowing what this is about.
Alfred?
In here, Anne.
Oh, so you're all back.
Yes, these people say they want to talk to you, Anne.
Phyllis, give me that check and note.
Ready and waiting.
Miss Russell, would you look at this note and check, please?
So Janet gave them to you. What did she tell you?
Right now, I'm more interested in what you told her. What was Janet to do for your $2,000?
$2,000. And what's the meaning of this?
I was merely trying to save you from yourself, brother dear.
Save me.
I've watched you for a long time, Alfred.
What is...
I saw the way you were mooning around Janet.
I don't know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
don't you? I know you proposed marriage to the girl. And now with Jack out of the way, you thought she'd say yes. But I'm not going to have another woman in this organization. I have trouble enough as it is.
That doesn't explain the $2,000, Miss Russell.
Of course it does. I offered her the money to get out of town and not come back.
And what right had you? You're not running my life.
Well, this puts a new slant on everything. Could be that Russell wanted Jack out of the way so he could have a clear track with Janet.
The diamond robbery might have been conveniently arranged.
That's a lie.
If Miss Russell didn't want her brother to marry Janet, and the girl wouldn't buy off, then perhaps Big Sister thought of another way out.
You mean the poison route, Phil?
How dare you? You...
You mustn't. I know some naughty names, too.
Oh, surely, Mr. Shane, you've got some brains. You don't believe such insane twaddle.
Are you referring to my colleagues, Miss Russell, or to your story?
No.
It could be possible you and your brother Alfred have been putting on a little act for us.
I'll answer that remark, Mrs. Shane, but right now you're wanted on the phone.
What? Oh, thanks. Hello?
Mr. Shane, this is Bauer.
Yeah?
I've got to see you at once.
What? Where are you?
Listen, I have the real dope on the murder. Meet me at the old Dutch windmill in Golden Gate Park.
What time?
Let's see, it's just about 10 o'clock. Make it 10:30. And come alone. Don't tell anybody.
Okay, Bauer.
So it's Bauer. Where is he, Mike?
Shh, quiet, Inspector. Well, Mr. Russell, I think we'll be running along. If we have any more questions, we'll be back.
I'm sure you will.
No, please. Don't bother to see us to the door.
Mike, where are we
Appreciate all you
going?
guys
Golden
and
Gate
gals
Park.
hanging out with me.
Bauer wants to talk to us secretly.
A great secret with somebody listening on the line.
What? Who's listening?
Miss Anne Russell on the extension phone right in the hall here. What time is it, Mike?
10:28. Now keep back in the shadows with Faraday. This guy Bauer certainly picked a romantic spot to meet the old Dutch windmill in the loneliest corner of the park.
Not to mention spooky. Look at those four huge veins above us, like the arms of a giant hovering over our heads.
Oh, Angel, your poetry picks the doggonedest times to bust loose.
But I can't help it. I'm nervous. What time is it now?
10:29. I don't know. This may be a trap. Bauer may be after you, Mike. I don't like anything about that bird.
I don't like anything about tonight, period.
Psst. I see a light through the bushes. Car's coming around the turn. Got your gun, Mike? I'm all set. Now keep back in the shadows.
It sounds like he's driving fast.
What was that? Sounded like a gun. Why, Grandma Faraday, your nerves. Here he comes.
Mike, he's passing you. Mike?
Hey, Bauer! Bauer!
He's skidding.
Is he hurt? Is he hurt badly?
Can't tell yet. Open his shirt, Mike. What's a waste of time, Inspector? Look at the back of his head. Oh, guess I was right. We did hear a shot.
But who would do it? Who knew he was coming here to... Oh, that phone call.
Yeah, Ann Russell. Well, I guess there's no mystery about this killing. Hey, Faraday, here's his wallet. Maybe it will answer a few things for us. Let's see.
Well, what is it? What is it? I'm old enough to be told.
Mr. Bauer wasn't any ordinary secretary. He was an insurance detective. Planted in that office to find the missing diamonds.
Well, then maybe he ransacked Janet's apartment.
Yes, he did. It says so here in his pocket notebook. Searched girl's room, no evidence, no jewels. Janet went in to see Phillips. Something's up. Took her to bar. Told me to check on mistake. 12:15.
12:15. Mike, remember?
Huh?
Janet tried to tell us something about that.
12:15. That was when Jack was picked up by the taxi driver. Yes, according to the clock in the drugstore window. Inspector, let's telephone the coroner and then... Then what? Go take a good look at that clock. Oh, this is a waste of time, Mike. I checked that clock the day after the robbery.
So did we, Inspector, before the trial began.
It's an electric. It keeps perfect time. It couldn't be wrong.
Save your breath, pal. Mike's in another stubborn spell.
Oh, the drugstore's closed for the night. Yeah, but there's the clock. You can read it 100 feet away. Neon hands, neon numerals. It says 11:10. What time have you got, Faraday? 11:10. Now are you satisfied? Jack came out of the jewelry place 2 doors north of the drugstore. The taxi picked him up. The driver saw the clock in the window. The window!
What are you staring at, Mike?
The grocery store over there. Inspector, call a cab and get the driver who picked up Jack Holmes.
In just a moment, we'll return to Mike and Phyllis. A few minutes ago, we mentioned some of the advantages of Union Oil's spark plug service. As a featured part of this service, the Minutemen also inspect your ignition cables. These cables are the small, fine wires which deliver electricity to the spark plugs. Normally, they give little trouble. But if anything happens to them, if they get broken or frayed, or if the insulation is damaged, even brand new spark plugs won't help your driving. In other words, a faulty ignition cable will leak electricity. And by the time the charge gets to the spark plug, there isn't enough juice left for the rich, full spark needed for complete combustion. So for a careful check and double check on your car's firepower, have a Union Oil Minuteman service your spark plugs and ignition cables. You'll get honest, accurate work, and you'll notice the increased power and snap from your engine as soon as you drive away. You'll find Union Oil Minuteman ready to serve you wherever you see the sign of the big orange and blue 76. It's a few minutes past midnight. At a lonely street corner in the commercial district, Mike, Phyllis, and Inspector Faraday are talking to a scared little taxi driver.
Look, fellas, it's just like I said in court. I'm cruising along here and I see this guy.
The Inspector and I know that, Smitty. Now, we just want you to show us. Now, do exactly as you did that night. Yeah, cruise down the street and pretend you're picking up Jack Holmes.
And we'll get in the back seat and ride along.
Okay. Climb in.
Here, darling, come in.
Thank you.
I turns this corner here, see? And I'm moseying along when I spots him crossing the street. He waves at me, so I slows down. I stops right about here.
Jack was standing in the middle of the street. You opened the door. Which one?
The right one. He climbs in and gives me the address.
Well, go ahead. Open the door, Smitty.
See, ain't you got no imagination?
Now, Smitty, when did you see the clock?
Right now, when I leans over to close the door. There it is in the window, see? All lit up with neons.
Okay, look at it. What time does the clock say?
Gee, it's just like that night. 12:15.
Mike, you were right.
He made the same mistake all over again.
Look at it again, Smitty. Look hard. Now, come on, look hard.
What do you mean, look hard? The clock says, hey, there's something screwy. The numbers, they're backwards.
Right, Smitty, right. You're not looking at the clock. You're looking at the reflection in the grocery store window.
The real clock is across the street in the drugstore.
The drugstore clock reads 11:45, but the reflection looks like 12:15. 30 minutes difference, Smitty.
Gee, I could have sworn. Say, I did swear. You ain't gonna pinch me, are you?
No, Smitty. Now, are you willing to do something for us?
Me? Yeah, sure. Anything, fellas.
All right. We're going to pick up 3 passengers, and one of them is the murderer.
Here we are, folks. Here's the office.
Right.
Mr. Shane, I doubt we'll find anything in here that the police haven't already gone over.
Well, they had the wrong slant, Mr. Phillips. You see, someone planned to steal those diamonds, but they needed a fall guy, Jack Holmes. So they faked the shortage in his account books. Then they called him that night, very indignant at discovering his dishonesty.
Just a minute. I was the one who found him out.
Shut up, Ann.
Jack said he wanted to check back through his records. He didn't leave till 11:45. About midnight, the thief came here and stole the diamonds. The night watchman surprised the thief and was killed.
Then the cab driver blundered about the drugstore clock, and Jack was really on the spot. For the killer, it was a beautiful out.
Janet discovered the mistake this afternoon. She told it to Bauer. He checked her story. When he discovered Janet was dead, he tried to tell me what Janet told him. That's why he was killed.
Oh, that's rubbish. Bauer ran away from the inspector. Why? He must have had a reason.
He had. He wasn't ready to talk yet. You see, there's one detail we didn't tell you people. Bauer was a detective himself.
He was what?
Oh, yes, hired by the insurance company to find those diamonds.
You mean that he was...
Do you think he found the diamonds?
I'm sure he didn't. If we can step inside the office, Mr. Phillips, I'll show you why. Now, Bauer had a suspect, but it was the wrong one. He did know, however, that Jack was innocent. And when he telephoned me, the same call you listened in on, Miss Russell, the killer knew he was trapped unless...
I don't believe it. I didn't hear anything on that phone.
Oh, yes, you did, Miss Russell. You ought to have recognized it. Now, perhaps you will now.
Mr. Shane, stop this cat and mouse business.
Please. That clock on the bookcase there, in 5 seconds, is going to strike the hour. Now, listen. 1, 2, 3...
This is fantastic.
4... Well, distinctive chimes, aren't they? This is the same clock I heard strike while I was talking to Bauer on the phone. He called from this very room. There was only one man who knew where I was, who could tell Bauer where to phone me. Mr. Phillips.
Me? You're insane.
Am I? Bauer told you Jack was innocent. You sat there in your chair and heard him say to meet me at the old Dutch windmill at 10:30. So you killed him.
He trusted the wrong person, just as Janet did. She came to you, told you about the drugstore clock. You had to stop her tongue. You poured her a drink from this water jug on your desk with poison in the glass.
You anything to say to that, Mr. Phillips?
No, nothing.
I thought not. All right, Inspector.
Oh, come on in the house, kid.
Huh?
Mrs. Faraday will be glad to fix us some eggs and coffee.
Oh, no. It's pretty late, Faraday, and I think we all better get to bed. Look at Phil here. She's almost asleep.
I am not. I was just thinking. How did you know, Mike, that the clock you heard over the phone was in Philip's office?
Oh, I heard it the first time we went there, dear. It just took me a little while to get it placed in my memory.
Clocks ran all through this case, didn't they? The watchman's clock stopped at 12:10, the drugstore clock that convicted poor Jack, the office clock that caught the murderer.
Yeah, sometimes a clock can tell more than the time of day.
Oh, Oh, Mike, that's corny, but I knew you'd say it. I was just waiting for it.
Well, I guess Michael's entitled to a little corn off the cob tonight. That was neat thinking, my boy. A clock reflected in the window and the hands reversed by 30 minutes. Doubt if I'd have thought of it myself.
Oh, Faraday, please, Mike's ego.
Huh?
Besides, I think I know why he's so leery of clocks lately.
Oh, now listen here, honey. If you mean yes,
Go
then
on,
please.
Phil. Let's have it.
Well, Mike had a date with me for 6 o'clock, and he was an hour late.
No, Angel, please,
and
no.
guess what his alibi was?
What?
He thought he saw a clock that said 5 p.m. It was a grocery scale with 5 pounds of potatoes in it.
This is Mike Shane again. On June 4th, we come on the air 1/2 hour earlier. Remember now, that's not next Monday night, but the Monday following, June 4th.
Tune in again next week at 8:30 for another adventure with Michael Shane, Private Detective, starring Wally Mayer and Kathy Lewis, with Joe Forte as Inspector Faraday. Tonight's story was written by Richard DeGraff and based on the character created by Brett Halliday. Music was composed and directed by Bernard Katz. This is John Lang saying goodnight for the people who make 76 gasoline and Triton Motor Oil, Union Oil Company. This is the Mutual Don Lee Broadcasting System.
Okay, that was very long because I interrupted so much. Murder Trial of Jack Holmes, Michael Shane. Always leaving. Thank you to everybody. Always leave a comment afterwards. It's hard to remember, especially when it's a live stream and it ends and you're just done and you're on your way. Let's make something neat. Let's go to the next thing. But always leaving a comment always helps, and it's probably the number one hardest thing to get anybody to do, really. There's several people who always leave them after streams, but yeah, it is hard to get people to do it. Yeah, I'm going to be sitting here for a few, trying to figure out what I did wrong with this door, because see, what I just built was the entire side of the one truck. Let me see. Yeah, if you can see that. Let's see. Get it in view there. It's the one side, and it's got more cabinets up there, which is kind of cool. You can see the exhaust or lights. Wait, what is that? The exhaust for the truck. Yeah, right there. So that's what I just got done building. And the part that I think I may have, I don't see how I goofed up because I did everything right. But boy, I hope I'd never break this. But, but right there, this door, I'm showing you guys my idiotic mistakes. This door here is supposed to fit right in here, but it's supposed to go on this peg, and look where it's closing. So something's off. Something's wrong. So I have to figure this out before I complete bag 6. But I'll figure it out. But pretty cool. I mean, it's looking good. It really is. This build has taken me some time, that's for sure. But I'm going to figure this out. But Raj did ask if I could play Richard Diamond. Let's see. Which episode did he ask? Let me look for it. Let me look again. The House of Mystery. Again, I'm going into this not knowing if this is the one that's fixed or not, Raj. But if it sounds bad, I'm going to just cut it off. But hopefully it sounds good. You asked for it. I'm going to play it. And hopefully it sounds good. But other than that, yeah, thank you, Harry, and everybody. Hey, Brian Kirkham, what's going on? Good to see you. Stephanie, good to have you come in here. Appreciate all of you. But yeah, something's wrong here. This front of this truck has been driving me a little nuts, but I will figure it out. I will look at it piece by piece. Anyways, Richard Diamond, The House of Mystery case, and from 1949, December 10th. couple weeks before Christmas. Here we go. Door hinges are missing. So technical. I'll figure it out, and I'll let you guys know what I did wrong, of course. Okay, here we go. Boom. Please sound good. Is this the good one?
Portions of the following program are transcribed.
I'll let it play. I don't think this is the one I fixed, though. But I think it's good enough to where we can listen to it. Are you still there, Raj? Jello. Gotta love it.
Here is Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, private detective.
Yeah, should we listen to it?
Are you Mr. Diamond?
Creditor or client?
I'm a client.
I'm a Diamond.
I'm glad.
It's a little informal, but hello, Glad. Call me Rick.
Oh, no. My name is Julia Bates.
Mrs.?
Yes, but you don't have to call me Mrs. Bates. I'm a widow, you see.
Oh.
In fact, it may help our relationship if you call me Julia.
Oh, well, here we go again.
Okay,
all right,
cool.
Julia,
Don't
you can call
sound
me Rick.
the
fee's
best.
$100 a
This
day in
isn't the one I
expenses.
cleaned up, but we'll play.
I want you to stay at my house tonight.
I said $100 a day in expenses.
Oh, the fee is all right, Mr. Rick. Money means nothing.
Yeah, well, you think your way and I'll think mine.
I'll make out a check right now.
No hurry. Anytime in the next 10 seconds.
Oh, there.
Thanks. Now, about this assignment.
Well, it may sound silly, but I'm afraid of the house I live in.
Oh, dandy.
I said it might sound silly,
Mm-hmm.
but it's deadly serious, I assure you.
No, I'm sure it is.
You see, my husband, Warner Bates, died 3 months ago.
Hmm?
He was a very strange man and believed devoutly in many forms of mysticism.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he built this house as
Try
a
not
monument
to,
to his
Brian.
beliefs and filled it with secret passages and rooms and steps that lead nowhere.
Why not move out?
Well, I'll be perfectly honest. It's because of the money.
Oh.
In his will, Warner stipulated I was to live in the house for a period of 3 months following his death. 3 months is up tomorrow. And it doesn't help that Warner is buried in the basement vault.
What's he doing? Watching Benny's money?
Well, he had a crypt built in the cellar, and a key, the only key to it, was placed in his coffin.
What's supposed to happen tonight?
Well, let me tell you the whole story. A month ago, I began to hear the strangest things in the house at night, and I found food half eaten on the kitchen table.
Ever try setting traps?
Well, the worst shot came when I went to the cellar a few days ago. I found footprints in the dust, naked footprints, leading to and from the crypt.
Maybe he had to take a shower.
Oh, please let me finish. On his deathbed...
I figured it out, the door. It just needed to be pushed over one, and now it's going to fit perfectly. See, little things you can mess up. You got to pay attention. Oh, okay, I figured it out.
Warner swore he'd visit me at the end of the 3rd month, and if he could, take me with him back to the spirit world.
Oh, and tonight is the night.
Yes. Oh, at first, I didn't think it would get me, but... Oh, no, I'm scared, really scared.
Yeah, well, now look, baby, let's get off this mystic kick. Who inherits if you don't live up to your requirements?
Well, that's just it. No one. That is, no person. The money goes to charities and schools. Mr. Anderson, the executor of the estate, says the will is foolproof, legal, and binding. Either I live in the house until noon tomorrow or forfeit the inheritance.
So what you wanted me to do is hang around tonight and see that hubby doesn't go death walking.
Yes, that's right. You don't have to be there till dark.
Sorry,
but,
I got interrupted again because Brian brings up a point. He says, why don't we do an OTR bracket like the sports teams? Everyone votes and there can be only one champion. I've done Battle of the OTR Detectives, the OTR shows like Sam Spade versus Philip Marlowe. I've done a lot of those in the past, Brian. Maybe you weren't around during that time, but you're talking about something a little bit different. Brackets. That's not a bad thing to maybe try to put together one night for the Late Late Horror Show. But yeah, I've done Battle of old time radio shows. I think mainly detectives, but yeah, you can find them on the channel. I've done games before like that where they've gone up against each other, but a bracket like you're talking about, that's interesting. I miss you doing that, Dino. Yeah, I know. Connie, I hope to get back to doing some trivias and stuff like that, really. I mean, it's really just adding one more dame. Add one more dame. Day to do, like a Saturday. I should be doing something Saturday too, like a trivia or something like that. And listen, I will eventually get back into doing stuff like that again. But anyways, the House of Mystery, 2 weeks before, exactly 2 weeks before Christmas, this episode aired. So here you go.
Say 6 o'clock?
Excuse me. Diamond Detective Agency, freewheeling corpses. Ask the man who kills one.
Rick, when are you going to stop those awful slogans?
Oh, hello, Helen, baby. Gotta call you back. Got a client.
Oh, all right. Is she pretty?
I don't know. I'm parked behind a curve.
What?
Oh, forget it. I'll call you back. Bye. Now, Julia, you better go on home. Where's your broom?
Broom? Do you think I look like a witch?
You don't look like one. More like the good fairy after she'd heard about men. Now, you fly on home, sweetheart, and I'll see you at 6.
Don't be late.
I'll be there with bones on. I tried to uncurl my toes and get my mind on business. Thinking of my spooked client didn't seem to help, but it was business. It was getting pretty late in the afternoon, so I put the office to bed for the night, picked up a bite to eat, and went over to the 5th Precinct to keep a coffee date with Lieutenant Levinson. When I walked into the squad room, I spotted Sergeant Otis with his nose in a book. Now, hello, Otis. What's with the book? Don't tell me you're learning to read.
Hello, Shamus. How's tricks?
The book, Sergeant. What's the book?
What book? Lieutenant's inside. He said for you to go right in when you came.
Otis, tell Uncle Richard.
Honestly, first of all, Chris, that's a funny idea. That's a good idea. That would be so funny. Get a camera set up in there and race the cars. But Brian, listen, go for it. If you could do that, I most definitely would do that over on the Late Late Horror Show. The brackets. That's a great idea. Just set it up and you know how to get a hold of me. Email and all different kinds of ways. So. Go for it. Don't think I won't do it. If you put enough effort into it, I definitely will do it. So, sounds like a good idea. And back to the show.
About the book. Oh, it's just a book. Yeah, I was trying to improve myself.
Well, don't feel ashamed, Otis. You've got reason to do that.
Yeah, very funny.
I see. The art of graceful dancing. Otis.
Well, what's wrong with me dancing, Shamus? I don't want to be no social outcast.
Dancing? Well, maybe. But graceful? Otis, you couldn't be graceful even if your feet did match. Tell you what, though, I'll give you a hand. Now, just open your arms and pretend you have a dame. Go on, I'll start you on a waltz.
Well, okay.
Da-da-dee-dee-dum, tweet, 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 tweet. Da-da. Oh, no, Otis. You look like an elephant with sprained ankles. Now try again and close your eyes. Ya-da-dum-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Otis, where's your button? Otis, put me down. What? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Lieutenant. I thought you was a dame.
You what?
Oh. I mean, I had my eyes closed. I was dancing. Oh, Lieutenant, the shamus talked me into it.
Rick, would you mind telling me what you're doing?
Saving Arthur Murray ulcers.
Yeah, well, come on in and get some coffee. And Otis.
Yeah?
Shut up. Shall I pour?
Please do. You know how I like mine, Walt.
Yeah, no cream, 12 lumps.
Better change that.
I would think so. Okay, how many?
Make it 14. Your coffee's stronger than mine.
It's not so strong, Rick. Here.
Thanks. You better wipe that spot off the desk. The varnish is beginning to smoke.
Your jokes aren't any better. Going to stick around for the Hart game tonight?
I can't, Walt. I've got a client with a house full of spirits.
What?
The dead kind.
With you on the job, there'll be corpses jumping out of every window.
Yeah. Well, if they start, I'll give you a call.
I know. Why don't you give up being a detective, Rick? Play postman or something.
Walt, you just don't seem to appreciate my favors. I'm getting late. It's nearly 6.
It's a peaceful night, Rick. See if you can't keep it that way.
Oh, sure, Walt, sure. This is one night you can take it easy. Give me 2 more lumps, please. Leaving Walt and heading to the Bates house, I was feeling as happy as a bird in a hat full of worms. I had $100 to stall off the landlord, a lovely red-headed girlfriend with curves, and a spook client with trouble. Everything great. Then the storm began to blow up. It had started to rain when I saw the Bates house on Temple Street. A big, ugly house straight out of a horror story, with gables and shuttered windows. And as if that wasn't enough, I was met at the door by a butler who was a tiny thing, about 7 feet tall and 300 pounds, with a face like the devil with a hangover.
Come in.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to see...
Mrs. Bates, of course. You are Mr. Diamond.
She left word with you?
I need no word. I am the seventh son.
Of a what?
The seventh son.
Of a... Oh, no, this could go on forever. Okay, lead on.
The name is Kane.
Seventh son. How's your brother?
Well,
forget it. Where's your... Mrs. Bates?
In the drawing room. This way, sir.
Cozy little mausoleum. What time do the ghosts come out?
Usually right after the vampires, sir.
Oh, dandy. I hope they have an early show.
Oh, it will be soon enough, sir. The dead are restless tonight.
Maybe if I rocked them to sleep. Got a rock?
Mrs. Bates.
Yes.
Mr. Diamond.
Oh, thank you, Kane. Hello, Rick. How do you like my house?
Oh, it's lovely. What do you use for doorknobs? Heads? And what's with the big zombie? You didn't mention him.
Kane? Oh, he's a fixture around here, but I get frightened more when he's around than when he's gone.
Oh, well, now you take it easy, baby. Come on over and sit down and let me chase those fears away.
Oh, that is an idea.
Name me a better.
Can I fix you a drink?
Oh, I think I'll take a glass
of milk, sir.
Be right back, you guys. Potty break.
Hey, look, Crusher, put a bell around your neck or something. One more surprise like that, and you'll be best man at a funeral.
My apologies. Your milk, sir.
Yeah, thanks, sir. Come on, Julia, let's get back to where we were. And you, Kane, you... Hey, where'd he go?
Rick, there it is.
Huh? Yeah.
But that's the way it starts. Listen. It's the stairs to the cellar. Someone's climbing them.
What? Oh, it's probably Kane.
You wanted me, sir.
Kane? Then who... You wait in here, Julia. I'll go out and get our nosy friend.
The cellar door is at the end of the hall.
I left Julia looking as nervous as a one-legged man walking a tightrope and took off down the long hall. There was only one door, the one to the cellar, so I opened it and flipped on the switch. I was moving my ankles down the creaking steps when I heard trouble. What the devil? Julia! Julia! Are you hurt? What is it?
Rick, over there in the closet. A dead man.
Oh, no. There's no dead man in here.
Not there. But I saw him, Rick, I swear. There was a man in there. He was all bloody, and there was a big knife in his chest.
Oh, but you must have been mistaken.
About a corpse? Rick, he was there.
I don't see it. Oh, wait a minute. Here on the floor, bloodstains.
You see, there was a man in there.
This is blood, all right. But where'd the body go? He couldn't have been moved that fast. Unless... Where's Kane?
Right here, Mr. Diamond. But I did not move the dead one.
No? Where were you just now when Julia screamed? Having tea with a vampire?
No, I was in the kitchen, sir. Do not be mystified, Mr. Diamond. Accept the fact that you are in a house controlled by the other world.
There's been a murder, Kane, and that brings it into this world.
Who are you calling?
A real live cop who likes to know about dead bodies kicking around.
Lieutenant Levinson, homicide.
Walt, Rick.
Oh, no. I know that tone. Where's the body?
I wish I knew. Come on over to 209 East Temple Street.
Wait. What do you mean you wish you knew? Is there a body there?
Well, it's here someplace. Now, don't argue. Get over here.
Wait.
And hurry. Now, Kane, you can go back to the kitchen, but stay there. Don't roam around.
As you wish, sir.
And now, Julia, baby, we're going to do some investigating.
Investigating?
That's right. I got a big yen to see what's in that vault downstairs. And this time, I'm taking you with me.
But, Rick, it's locked.
I hope so, but I'm not making book.
You mean you think it may actually have been Warner come back from the dead? And kill that man, I mean?
Right now, I don't know what to think. I wouldn't be surprised to run into Dracula sitting on top of the wolf man. Here's the basement. Hey, who turned out the light? I know I turned it on before. Yeah, that's better. Come on.
Oh, Rick, it's cold down here. Oh, hurry, Rick. I'm getting scared.
Yeah, I don't like the feel of it myself, but I want to check this vault.
See the footprints there in the dust?
I see them, but I don't believe them, not yet. Yeah, I'll try the door of the vault.
Why, it's unlocked.
Yeah, look what's inside.
The coffin is empty.
It's empty, all right, and it's open.
Well, are you going inside?
No. I think I'll stay out here.
The light! Rick, who put out the light?
It wasn't Edison, baby. We got company.
I told you I'd come back for you.
Warner?
Hey, what is this?
I am dead.
Oh.
You know I am, don't you, Julia?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, I know it's you, Warner.
I'm coming for you tonight, Julia. I will appear at 9 o'clock.
I'd better set my watch.
Be prepared to meet me, Julia, at 9 o'clock.
No, Warner, no.
Take it easy, baby.
Rick, you down there?
Oh, hallelujah. Yeah, Walt, turn on the lights.
Sure. There, they're on. Rick, what are you doing there? Oh, a block. I should have known. Well, do come upstairs and join me.
We're coming, Walt.
Now, what is this all about?
In a minute, Walt. Otis, help Mrs. Bates into the living room. She's pretty shaken up.
Sure, Shamus. Come on, lady. Now, what is all this about, Rick?
Now, come on back downstairs with me, Walt, and get your gun out. Somewhere in this cellar is a dead man with a lousy sense of humor.
Sorry, these long streams, I need a potty break every now and then, you know. Just saying.
Well, we searched the long cellar but good while I briefed Walt on the events of the evening. Neither was much of a success. Walt didn't believe me, and our ghost remained a ghost. As we went back up into the living room, I was at a point where I didn't believe the things myself. They couldn't have happened, but they had. Hey, Otis, where did Mrs. Bates go?
She went upstairs to pack, Shamus. Said she was going to leave.
Leave? And give up her dough? Oh, for Pete's sake, she can't... Not just because of this ghost house.
Ghost house? Oh, this is the wackiest yet. Rick, if I didn't know you were so...
Walt, do I look like I'm happy about these things? I'm at a point where I'm believing in spooks and spirit worlds and dead men who talk from out of nowhere.
Yeah, so the Shamus is afraid of spooks. This I'm loving.
Otis.
I know, Lieutenant. Shut up.
Did I say that, Otis?
Well, no, Lieutenant. What do you want me to do?
Shut up.
Oh. Gee, I wish I had a glass of...
A glass of water, Sergeant.
Oh, come out from behind that chair, Otis. It's only Kane. Who's he? Well, didn't he let you in?
No, we found the door open. When we rang and no one answered, we came in.
Oh, did you? Hey, Kane, where were you? Didn't you hear the doorbell?
I knew the door was open, Mr. Diamond, and I was busy.
Like maybe playing ghost?
No, sir. Baking a cake.
Cake? Oh, swell.
Rick, I'm all packed. Will you take me to a hotel?
Now, but Julia, look, you can't leave. Think of the money.
Money or no money, I'm getting out of here, Rick. That was Warner's voice, and I just don't have the nerve to stay.
Oh, but look, baby, you know there aren't any such things as ghosts.
Do I? You were in the cellar with me. You heard him. And did you find anybody down there afterwards?
Well, no, but...
Just a minute, Mrs. Bates. You saw a murdered man earlier this evening, didn't you?
You know I did, in that closet.
Yeah, well, until I find out who he is and who killed him, you don't leave this house.
But Warner...
I'm sorry, Julia. We'll protect you, but you can't leave.
Otis, take Mrs. Bates into the library and make her comfortable.
Hey, Lieutenant. Come on, Mrs. Bates.
Well...
Now, Rick, enough is enough. How could there have been a body in that closet one minute and not the next? Where did it go and why?
Well, how the devil should I know? She saw it, screamed, I ran back, opened the closet, and it was gone.
Oh, great.
Now, come on. I want a better look at that closet. Well, looks all right. Wonder how it sounds.
Use your gun butt on the walls.
Yeah. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, but where's the latch? There must be some way to open this section.
Try those hooks.
Yeah. No, not them. Maybe this rack.
Hey, look. Secret room, just like in the movies. Oh, there he is.
Yeah. We found the corpse, Walt. And how he disappeared so fast.
Oh, some mess. Blood all over him.
Walt, hey, this is no corpse.
What? Oh, now, don't start that.
No? Well, look at it closer, Walt. It's a dummy.
Well, it is. A wax dummy with blood smeared on it.
No wonder I wasn't meant to see it.
Oh, this is it. I'm getting out of this crazy house. Corpses that talk, corpses that aren't corpses. I've had enough. This is just plain ridiculous.
Now, wait, Walt. Someone planted this dummy, and someone is trying to scare Mrs. Bates out of this house. That same someone is in this house right now, and if he isn't stopped, it may mean her murder. How are you feeling, Julia?
I'm exhausted, Rick, but
We found the body, Julia. It was a dummy.
A dummy? Well, then there wasn't any murdered man?
No, this whole thing is a bluff, even that voice in the cellar.
Oh, no, that couldn't be. That was Warner's voice, Rick. I know it was. And he's not in his coffin.
I know, baby, and I think that's all phony, too. Now, tell me, who knew of that only key in the coffin business?
Well, just myself. And Mr. Anderson.
Anderson?
Oh, that's right. You remember, he was Warner's lawyer.
Oh, yeah. How about Kane? Did he know of the key?
Well, I don't know, Rick. He may have. Warner confided in him a great deal.
Rick, this isn't getting us any place. Come with me. Otis, you stay with Mrs. Bates.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Walt. What are we going to do, grill the dummy?
Go ahead. Be funny. But I want to search this whole house.
Oh, Walt, this place is a nut house full of secret rooms and hocus pocus. It'll take 2 maps and a Ouija board to get around in it.
Well, I'm going to get around it, and up these stairs is as good a place as any to start.
Hello, Walt.
Oh, stairs that lead to a blank wall. Rick, that's too much.
Now, would you stop playing games?
Playing games, he says. Oh, where is my bicarbonate?
Here you are, Lieutenant. Sorry to be late.
Where's the thunder, Kane? You're Mr. Q.
Will there be anything else, sir?
I don't see how, sir. Not unless Frankenstein drops in for a game of jacks.
I doubt if he will. Tonight it's at his house, so I'll be on hand if you need anything.
We won't. Go on back to your embalming. Come on, Walt. You feeling okay?
Oh, I'll never feel okay again. Rick, I've stood for your getting me mixed up in some crazy cases, but this night I'll never forget.
Oh, don't quit on me now, Walt. We still have to find that spook and keep Julia from being killed.
How? Please, tell me how.
Look, he said he was going to appear at 9 o'clock tonight to take her to the spirit world with him.
Yeah, well, I'll get a squad down here to see that he doesn't.
No, Walt, wait. He'll never show up if we're all hanging around, right?
Well, yeah.
And the only way we can catch the ghost is for him to show up, right?
Yeah, go on. So what do we do?
So we pretend to leave, make a big fuss about giving the whole thing up. Then we sneak back in and hide. We wait and see if he shows up, and when he said he would, and if he does, we nab him. Case closed.
Well, it sounds screwy, but to wind this case up, I'll buy anything. Where do we hide?
We'll get Julia to wait in the living room. We'll sneak back and hide in that secret room behind the closet. If the ghost shows, we can grab him as soon as he gives himself away. And I think he'll show. After getting Julia to agree to the idea, Walt, Otis, and I made a big thing about leaving the house. Then we sneaked back in and hid in the secret room back of the living room closet. The closet door was open enough so we could see Julia pretending to read on the couch. And for the next few centuries, we waited. Waited for a dead man to keep a date. What time is it, Rick? It's 2 minutes to 9. If he's going to show, it won't be long.
Hey, you think a dead man really can come back to life?
If you don't shut up, Otis, I'll give you a personal chance to try.
I wish he'd hurry.
Yeah. Well, it's just time now. I hope Julia plays her part okay. She looks pretty nervous.
No, why would she be nervous? She's only waiting for a dead man.
A phony dead man, Walt, I hope.
Now, don't you start believing in ghosts. You know there aren't any such things. Rick, the lights went out.
Shh, listen.
I told you I would come for you, Julia. It is 9 o'clock.
Oh, Warner, please don't take me out. I don't want to die.
Rick, that's him.
Shh, wait a minute, Walt.
I am the dead, Julia. I am your husband.
Yes, I know you, Warner.
You must leave this house, Julia.
No.
Come on, Walt.
Right, and Otis, be quiet. Oh, I will. I know enough not to make any noise.
What was that?
Rick, hurry!
Come on, let's grab him. all took off after the ghost. It led us on the screwiest chase yet, in and out of the secret passages, upstairs, and then back downstairs again. Trying to lay hands on him was like trying to swat a fly by the piece of string. He finally made a break for the outside door. Then, not to be outdone, I made like a big athlete.
Hey, that was a pretty nifty tackle, Diamond.
Think you okay? Yeah. As soon as I get this hood off, I'm going to have a few words with this spook. There. He's out cold. Otis, bring Mrs. Bates in here.
Oh, okay.
Come on, you. Wake up. Who is he? I don't know. Come on, wake up. Before I make a real ghost out of you.
Okay, don't hit me anymore, please.
Yes, she is, Lieutenant. Mrs. Bates, do you know who this man is?
Why, it's Warner's lawyer, Mr. Anderson, the executor of the estate.
Sure, baby, had to be. All right, Buster, what's the story?
Oh, all right. It was the money. If I could get Julia to break the will, I had a dummy charity set up so I could get the estate.
He's all yours, Walt. Wrap him up. It'll be a pleasure. Otis, put the cuffs on him. Take him out of here.
Yeah, Lieutenant. Come on, Spooky.
Well, that takes care of that. Hey, what about Kane? He must have known about all this.
Of course I knew, Lieutenant, but I did not wish to intrude. Those who interfere with the dead pay their own penalty.
Lose their haunting license?
Nothing. Oh, sir, my cake is done. Would you like some? It's devil's food.
No thanks. I'll skip it.
With nuts?
Julia, walk me to the door.
Well, of course, Rick.
I'll leave you with Kane, Walt. Tell him a ghost story. Feeling all right, baby?
Oh, yes, much better. I'm fine now that I know there's nothing to be afraid of. Tomorrow I'll be moving into an apartment. Will you come and see me? We have things to talk over.
Like what, honey?
Like sharing a mood. You know. Just the two of us.
With that, she reached up and showed me what she meant with a big smoochie. Oh, I'd have probably stuck around, but I was afraid the house would be too disturbing. I wouldn't have minded having to get up to chase the bats out of the room, but with Kane showing up every time I wanted something, well, that could have led to complications. So I left Walt and Otis to clean things up, bid a not-too-fond farewell to Kane, and went from the house of horror to the one that was full of redhead and a piano. The redhead was wearing a red dress with a new, you know what I mean.
Well, didn't think you were going to make it.
I had a tough case tonight, honey. Thought I might not get away at all.
Mm-hmm. I'll bet you did.
Why, Helen, baby, all of a sudden you sound suspicious.
Without any effort, darling. Especially when it comes to blondes.
Blondes? You mean girls?
Girls. Blonde girls with hair like this on your lapel.
Oh.
And the lipstick on your cheek and the look in your eyes.
Oh, you know how it is, honey. Brilliant detective saves client's life and fortune. She had to be grateful.
Brilliant detective. Just keep on making me so jealous of you, and one of these days the world is going to lose a brilliant detective.
No. Someone gonna rub out Sam Spade?
Oh, what's the use?
Oh, now, baby, don't be mad. Come on, let's neck.
No. I'm upset and I'm
Come on,
unhappy.
let's neck.
If I sing, will you be happy again?
I don't know.
Well, I'll try. I'll sing my real old head off. I need your love so badly. I love you oh so madly. But I don't stand a ghost of a chance with you. I thought at last I'd found you, but other loves surround you, and I don't stand a ghost of a chance with you. Are you listening? If you'll surrender just for a tender kiss or two, you might discover that I'm the lover meant for you.
A lot of people don't like Dick singing.
What's the good of scheming? I know
I like it.
I'm
Hopefully you enjoyed that, Raj. Oh, yeah, you're welcome, bud.
A ghost of a chance with you.
Happy?
Very happy, Dick.
What the?
No. No, it's still early enough to calculate show.
Well, if I take you to the show.
Yes.
Okay. What's the show you want to see?
Oh, it's a wonderful horror picture full of spooks. The Ghost Talk.
Oh, no.
You have just heard Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell. Helen was played by Virginia Gregg. Lieutenant Levinson by Ed Begley. Also in that cast were Wilms Herbert, Joan Banks, Paul Frees, and Robert Clark.
Okay, they can go on and on and on. Well, there you go, Raj. Back to some Michael Shayne. Man, I can't believe it's 8:40 already here. I went through that pretty quickly. And I just started bag 7, and this one's going pretty quickly. It's just like side walls for the next side of the truck. As you can see, it's got Pantasy fast food on there, and it's got like a hamburger, tacos, and I think the other one's got a hot dog bun on it. So lots of colorful, and these are printed plates. That's what I like about Pantasy. No stickers. They print these right on the pieces and use Go Bricks, which I don't know, man. Go Bricks, they can rival the Lego pieces, but and listen, I put enough Fantasies together and enough Legos together, but there's just Legos just tops. But you know, you get what I'm saying. Anyways, yeah, just putting the next sidewall together. You were right about Walt's actor. So, by the way, did I mention I watched The Shadow of the Thin Man on TCM this morning? Stephanie Press. Nice. There was about a decade ago. I was into Turner Classic Movie, and I still am. But I'm just so busy all the time. I don't get to watch as much as I used to. TCM, I used to watch all of those shows, like the Boston Blackie. I mean, there was Chester Morris played Boston Blackie in a series of movies. Tom Conway played the Lone Wolf series, another detective series, which lost shows, OTR shows, but I think there's one, and I got them in one of my streams. I know that. I've got so many streams that I've done, it's hard to find the Lone Wolf one unless I put it up by itself. But there was a Lone Wolf that survived episode, Tom Conway, and there was also, you know, and what was the other ones? Oh man, I'm trying to think. But all of those ones, The Thin Man, of course, you know. But I loved all of those shows. They were just a nice little niche, and TCM played them all the time. And I got them all on hard drive. So, anyways, Chad Farr, what is going on? Great show. The singing can only sometimes be outdone by the angry neighbors' anger at the singing. Love Nick and Nora. You better believe it, man. Good night, D. D leaving. Hopefully see you in the overnight on the Late Horror Show. D, have to scoot for now. Still watching on TV. Sounds good, D. Much love. Okay, let me go back to Michael Shayne while I continue to at least try to finish up this bag before I move on to starting the show on the Late Horror Show. Michael Shayne, May 14th, 1945. No, I'm not going to do that one. Let's do Body in the Trunk. That's a popular one. April 23rd, 1945. Body in the Trunk. Here we go. Hopefully I can get through
The
this.
Adventures of Michael Shayne, Private Detective. The people who make 76 gasoline and Triton motor oil, Union Oil Company, present The Adventures of Michael Shayne, Private Detective, starring Wally Mayer and Kathy Lewis. When Mike Shayne isn't burning the midnight oil over some unsolved crime, he's generally doing the next most interesting thing, talking about one. Right now, he's leaning back in his easy chair doing a powerful lot of talking to his old friend, Inspector Faraday. It's a stag session, for Mike's assistant, Phyllis Knight, has gone home early this evening.
Of course, Faraday, I don't know much about the case except what I've read in the papers, but it seems to me that you're going after the wrong guy.
Mike, this Joe has got a prison record as long as a kangaroo's tail. Why should he sidestep a little thing like murder?
Just because he has got a prison record as long as a kangaroo's tail. Look, I remember a case back in New York that's almost a carbon copy of this. I've got some newspaper clippings on it in the files here. I'll read them to you just a second.
You don't get the point, Mike. This killing is gruesome, horrible. It would take a hardened criminal to carry it through.
Doggone it, they're here in the files somewhere. Now, Phil could turn right to it.
Yeah, she went home kind of early this evening, didn't she?
Yeah, she's got a girlfriend staying up at the apartment with her. Went home to help her pack up.
Friend from out of town?
Uh-huh. Girl had a fight with her fiancé and wants to play hermit for a few days.
I know. The old feminine trick. Goodbye forever. Till next Saturday night.
Right.
I'll get it, Mike. Hello?
Mike, oh, thank heavens you're still there.
This is Faraday, Phyllis. Mike's ransacking his files. I'll get them for
Wait
you.
a minute. You better hear this too, Inspector. Maybe it's your business.
What's wrong, girl? You sound scared blue.
I am. I know something's happened. I don't dare look.
All right, but what is it, Phil?
Yeah, wait a minute. Let me talk to her.
Here, she sounds like she's going to cry.
Hello, Angel.
Oh, Mike. Mike, get over here quick.
Now, wait a minute. Calm down, honey. Now, tell me what's wrong.
Well, you know Lois was leaving my apartment tonight, and I came home to help her pack.
Yeah, sure.
Well, Mike, she's not here. At least I don't think so.
Now, please, Angel, wait a minute. I can't tell what you're talking about.
Well, I found her trunk already packed and locked, and...
Yeah?
And I think...
Yep. Yeah. What, honey? What?
I think her body's inside.
Well, at last. I thought you'd never get here.
Honey, we came as fast as we could.
Yeah.
Where's the trunk?
In the bedroom.
All right, now tell me what happened.
Well, I found the hall door off the lock, so I expected she'd be right back. I kept waiting, and then I started to worry. She had that row with Nelson. He threatened her.
You see what I mean, Faraday? A woman's intuition.
Well, the baggage man came. He started to take the trunk, but then I heard it.
Heard what?
Something slumped inside. And the trunk seemed so heavy, I told the man to leave it. We weren't going to send it after all.
Oh, great.
I looked at it real close, and when I saw the padlock... Oh, that's when I phoned you, Mike.
Mm-hmm. Well, I see it. It's smeared blood on the lock. But that's not unusual, honey. Maybe she cut her hand when she closed the trunk.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, I'm no child. Look here in this closet. There. There are all Lois's dresses, still on the hangers. They weren't packed in the trunk.
It just means that she hasn't finished packing.
I thought of that, too, Mike. I started to push the trunk back against the wall, but it wouldn't budge. There's something inside of it, and it isn't clothing.
Well, let's see.
I'll say. It's loaded with something.
There. There, you hear that? Something slumped inside. Just as you tipped the trunk, Faraday.
Okay, I guess the only way we can satisfy you is to open it, if we can find the key.
Well, here, I've got it. It's here in her purse. That's another thing that scared me, Mike. Lois's handbag. Just laying here on the dressing table.
Let's have it, Phil.
Honey, wasn't that the hall door?
Of course, there's your girl now.
Oh, it's about time that she... No, it's Nelson.
Let's see. Yeah. You looking for somebody, partner?
Oh, I didn't think there was anybody here.
You always walk right in when there's nobody home?
Well, I meant, I thought Lois was here alone. I'll come back again.
No. We'd like you to stay. She may be in any minute.
Well, I really...
Come in a minute. Come on in. We'd like to talk to you ourselves. Come on.
I don't understand. You're friends of Lois?
Yes. This is Mike Shayne and Inspector Faraday.
I don't understand.
You don't have to. Okay, Phil, let's have that key.
Here.
Thanks.
Hey, here, what are you doing? That's Lois's trunk. You haven't any right to go
Maybe
in.
not, but we like to open surprise packages.
Oh, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's a mistake.
All right, Mike. Now, let's swing her open.
Honey.
Yeah? What's inside?
No, don't look. I'm afraid you were right.
Coroner's on his way.
It doesn't seem real. Just a few hours ago, I was talking to her, and now...
I know, honey, I know. It's hard to take.
You, young fella, what's your name?
Huh? Nelson Carter.
Supposed to be the girl's fiancé, huh? You don't seem to be particularly upset.
I'm stunned.
What brought you here?
I came to see Lois. I was here this afternoon and we had another fight. I came back to apologize.
That's something new. First time you ever apologized for anything. You drove the poor girl half crazy.
Well, it was her fault. She wouldn't listen to me. I was right from the very start.
Oh, sure. So right you never let her have a thought of her own. You hounded her with your rightness. That's why she moved in with me, to get away from you and your pestering phone calls and your fights.
That's a lie. You came between us. Lois told me this afternoon you said she should forget me.
I told her so at breakfast. But she couldn't. She was still in love with you.
What?
She was going back to her apartment tomorrow morning.
There's something I don't get. If Lois was using Phil's apartment as a sort of hideout, how did this fella know she was here?
That's my business.
It's also ours, son. What time did you come here this afternoon?
Why, about 4:30.
The girl's been dead 3 or 4 hours.
Say, look here, if you're trying to pin this on me, you're crazy.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're out of your
told me
mind,
about your insane temper. You threatened to kill her.
I did not.
I did
You're
not.
a pack of fools.
You idiot.
But I think I do know who did it.
Yeah?
What's wrong with you?
Wait a minute. Who can that be?
Oh, it's too soon for the coroner. I'll answer it. Good evening. Good evening.
I'm sorry to bother you at this hour, but we had some trouble about a pickup at this address.
Oh, what kind of a pickup?
Why, a trunk. I'm the traffic investigator for the transfer company. We gave one of our drivers a pickup order at this apartment, but he didn't bring it in. In fact, he's disappeared.
Oh, wait a minute. I can explain part of it. I told your driver I'd changed my mind. I didn't want the trunk sent.
Oh, I see. You were Miss Phyllis Knight.
That's right.
Haven't I met you somewhere before? Your voice sounds familiar.
It ought to, Mr. Shane. You used to hear it every day.
Hmm?
Going up, sir? Floors, please.
An elevator operator.
In the Rust Building. Well, I'm sorry I disturbed you, but we're just trying to locate our driver. Good night.
Yeah. Good night.
That's funny. Why should a baggage company driver disappear?
Right after he came for this trunk. I wonder...
All right, kids, let's get back to business. Now, Mr. Carter, you start to say you knew the killer.
Yeah, Lois's old boss, Joseph Spiegel. He's head of the Spiegel Chemical Laboratories. She told me this afternoon he was coming to see her.
Yeah, but he doesn't know she was here. Lois quit her job with him last week.
Assuming he did know, why should our next boss want to kill the girl?
Because he's a crook. I used to work in Spiegel's laboratory, and I discovered he was stealing formulas from other companies. So
Yeah, I
quit.
got a perfect voice
Now,
for
but not
radio.
Lois.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
See?
Now, she was his private secretary, and her boss was just a soul of honor.
Yeah, my voice never
That's what started
changes.
our fight.
Up
Yes,
or down.
but when she learned you
Am
were
I
right,
mad?
she did
Am I
quit.
sad?
3 days ago.
All right.
What am I?
It sounds like a pretty flimsy reason to kill a girl.
Not if Lois had the goods on him. He wanted to stop her tongue.
You weren't fighting about that this afternoon?
No. No, she told me she was going to go to work for another chemical company. I told her when I married, I didn't want my wife working. Well, we both got pretty mad. She said she'd never marry me.
I can imagine how you took that with your conceit.
How about it, Mike?
I don't know. I'm a little worried, Faraday. This is Phil's apartment. She's been living here alone up till the past few days.
Yeah?
Lois and Phyllis are about the same height, same color hair. Maybe somebody thought he was killing Phyllis.
Huh? Who'd want to? I haven't an enemy in the world.
Oh, you've got hundreds, Angels, as many as I've got. Mike Shane and Phyllis Knight have sent plenty of lugs up the river.
Yeah, but Lois and I don't really look alike, Mike. A killer would be awfully certain before he did it.
Why should he, honey? Yours is the only name on the mailbox. If some crook hired a gunman to come to this address and knock off the girl living in apartment 616...
Listen, Mike, that stuff doesn't happen in San Francisco. Those are the old Al Capone days.
Well, maybe I'm a nervous Nellie. I just don't want Phil
It's the
running
voice,
any danger.
Chris.
Mike,
Yes?
come here a minute. Look here.
Every time.
Here, this ashtray.
Yeah.
Well, I see what you mean. Mr. Carter, do you smoke?
What? Yes, a pipe.
Oh. There's a cigar butt in this ashtray.
Spiegel. He smokes them all the time. I told you he was coming here.
Maybe we should check that right now. You know where he lives?
Yeah, he's got an apartment at his plant. It's next to the laboratory. That's on Bay Street.
Okay, suppose Phil and I mosey over there right now and swap formulas with Dr. Spiegel.
Good, and if the coroner gets through here in time, I'll join you.
Oh, Mr. Shane. Have you got a gun?
You think I'll need it?
You might. Spiegel's a huge man with a cunning, fiendish mind.
Well, thanks for the warning. I'll be ready with a few shenanigans of my own.
In just a moment, we'll rejoin Mike and Phyllis in their adventures. Quality of workmanship and materials has always been the hallmark of successful business. That is why Union Oil Company has copyrighted the name Stopware. You see, Stopware lubrication is more than just a grease job. It is a system that has been worked out from years of experience to give your automobile the best possible care. With Stopware lubrication, you can be sure that nothing on your automobile has been overlooked or hurriedly serviced. Each fitting is carefully and thoroughly lubricated according to the manufacturer's specifications. Only the finest, high-quality greases are used. And while your car is on the hoist, the Minutemen inspect out-of-sight points and check them for danger signs. As a proof of Stopware's superior lubrication, you receive a written guarantee with each job. Stopware lubrication jobs are a matter of pride with Union Oil Minutemen. And you'll know why when you take the wheel after a Stopware servicing. You'll find your car rolls smoother, handles easier, stands up better with regular Stopware lubrication. So, ladies and gentlemen, with correct car servicing so important these days, why take a chance on inferior work? Stopware, the best attention you can buy, costs no more than ordinary lubrication. Remember, Stopware is an exclusive, guaranteed process, available only at Union Oil Minuteman stations. It is a dark and foggy street in San Francisco's commercial district. Light streams out into the night through an open door, the entrance to the Spiegel Chemical Laboratories. In the doorway is the huge silhouette of a man.
Shane? Michael Shane?
Yes, sir.
I do not know you, sir. I'm aware of that, Dr. Spiegel, but Miss Knight and I would like to talk to you. It's very important. Impossible. Tonight I'm working in my laboratory.
It's about Lois Lavers, Doctor.
Lois? Oh. Come in. Close the door, please. We will talk in the laboratory. I must get back to my experiment. This way, please. Thank you.
Jeepers, he is a giant, Mike.
Mm-hmm. And those thick glasses make him look like a movie horror man.
You said
Mr. Shane, you are a detective? How did you know that? Well, I rather expected Lois might talk to someone. She's a very neurotic girl. She imagines things. I'm afraid she's past that, Dr. Spiegel. She's dead. Dead? Murdered. It's a pity. She had a fine brain. But, too much imagination? My laboratory. I caution you both not to handle the tubes or retorts. They are very fragile.
Oh. Golly, it's an elaborate place. What are you experimenting on?
That, madam, is my business. Doctor, I believe you knew Nelson Carter, Lois' fiancé? He used to work here. Capable, but of wild temper. And very jealous.
Of you, perhaps?
Yes. I used to take Lois to dinner so I could continue my work without interruption. Nelson misunderstood. Yes. I should not be surprised if he killed her. Perhaps. You saw Lois this afternoon, Doctor. About what time? A very good detective. About 5 o'clock, I would say.
How did you know she was staying in my apartment?
One moment. There is trouble with this retort. Better. Better. How did I know? It is very simple. Lois telephoned me. Her last paycheck was incorrect. I brought her a new one.
Is that all you went to see her about?
No. Also, I asked her to come back. She was an excellent secretary. Mr. Shane, what are you doing?
Just admiring your laundry in this sink.
Laundry? Does your experiment include bleaching of blood-soaked handkerchiefs, Doctor?
Good heavens.
Thanks, JLR.
They are my handkerchiefs.
Appreciate you.
But the blood is not from Lois's veins.
Ooh.
She was strangled, then stabbed to death by a sharp instrument, Doctor. Like this surgical knife here. Perhaps I show you how I use that knife. In this cage...
Ooh, rats. Hundreds of them.
100, madam. Disease, very sick rats. When my experiments are concluded, they go in here. Into this bin.
That's nice.
Oh.
Very dramatic, Doctor.
Disgusting.
But it doesn't fool us.
Oh, what happened?
Sure, you wanted Lois to come back to work, but she told you she was going to another
Going
chemical
under
company.
the table, something came
That
off.
scared you, Doctor. If she told about your stolen formulas and your other cookery... So she did talk. I thought this was a trick. Don't you reach for your gun, Mr. Shane. My hand is already in my pocket.
You killed her.
You lie. She's not dead. It is a trick to get something on me. Get out. Get out of here, both of you.
It was just a garbage can. Nothing to worry about.
Now you will forget you ever came here. You will drop this investigation. I don't take orders from you, Dr. Spiegel. This time you will. Your young lady has sense if you have not. Good night.
Oh, I thought he was going to keep us in there and experiment on us.
Yes. He's a cold-blooded baby.
Yeah.
Mike.
Hey, the inspector. There, he's parked in that police car.
Oh, with Nelson.
Yeah.
Just got here in time to see the bums rush. What are the odds?
I don't know, Inspector. He's devilish enough to commit murder.
Should I take him in for questioning?
No, not yet. He'll be here. He doesn't scare out.
Mike found handkerchiefs soaking with blood. He said he was experimenting with rats.
I think he was sincere, though. He figured we were on the trail of those stolen formulas.
He killed her, I tell you. If the police don't get him, I will.
Oh, stop acting. You're too dead anxious to pin it on Spiegel.
Yes, and the good
Stop
doctor
acting,
threw the
say.
honor right
Yeah,
back at Nelson.
yeah. I don't like the way she looked at him.
Spiegel had the motive, Nelson had the jealousy.
By the
and
way,
kept
is there a
to do it.
bathroom
Each
around
saw
here?
the girl about the time she died.
Mike, if you ask me, you're passing up a bet. The killer stuffed Lois into the trunk so her body could be smuggled out of the building. Find where the trunk was going, and perhaps we'll have the address of the murderer.
But she ordered the trunk picked up herself, Phil.
Maybe she didn't. Anyway, it's worth a try. Hop in, Angel. We're heading for that transfer company.
We appreciate it, sir. You're coming down and opening the office at this time of the night.
Well, lucky my wife saw you were a policeman, or she'd never have let me out of the house. This is our dispatch office.
Oh, by the way, have you located your missing driver?
Missing driver? I don't understand.
Why, your traffic investigator came to the apartment. The driver that was to pick up the trunk had disappeared. He was checking up.
Well, that's impossible. All of our men checked into that. And we don't have what did you call him, a traffic investigator?
Mike, he was a fake.
It's not so good. Probably never ran an elevator in the Rust building either.
This thing is getting screwier by the minute.
Oh, here we are. Here's the pickup order on the trunk. It's under the name, Phyllis Knight.
Not under Lois Lavers.
Well, let's see. It was a phone order. Received 5:25 p.m.
Yeah.
Trunk to be sent to 9053 Jennifer Street.
Seems to me I've heard that address before.
9053 Jennifer. 9053 Jennifer. Yeah, there's something about it.
I should hope so. It's the address of Michael Shane.
I was right, Inspector. I was right. Lois was killed by mistake. It was intended to be Phil.
Well, if that's the case, then Carter and Spiegel cancel out.
Correct, honey. The murderer had planned to kill Phyllis, send her body in that trunk to my apartment, and leave me to explain it to the police.
All right, maybe so. Say the motive is revenge. You got 100 enemies, Mike. One of them poses as a transfer company investigator, but who is he? He didn't leave a single fingerprint in Phil's apartment. Where do we start looking?
Oh, if I could only remember the guy. I know his voice. But where have I heard it? When did I? I must know him.
Well, he didn't know me very well, or he'd never have killed the wrong girl. Lois and I were the same height, same color of hair, Mike, but that's all.
Maybe he figured you changed a lot, honey, if he hadn't seen you in a long time, if he'd been away, if he'd been... Faraday!
Yeah, if he'd been away in prison. Kids, we're going to make a phone call right now. Hello, give me San Quentin.
Phil, honey, close that door to the other room. I can't hear a thing.
Hello, Inspector Faraday, San Francisco calling. Yes, I want to speak to him personally. Might get on that extension phone.
Yeah, okay.
Hello, Faraday. What's on your mind?
Plenty, sir. We need a list of all prisoners you've released from your little sanatorium in the past 2 weeks.
Past 2 weeks, huh?
Yeah.
I'm afraid it'll hardly make a list, Faraday. Only one man.
What's his name?
Now, let me see. It was Ford. Harold Ford.
That mean anything to you, Mike?
Well, never heard of him.
Oh, who's that on the phone, Mike Shane?
Well, you got sharp ears, sir. We figured maybe you had released a prisoner who had a grudge against me.
Some old enemy of Mike's who might try his hand at revenge.
Oh, that's the only release we've had lately. In fact, Mike, you can subtract one enemy from your book. Died here last week. Al Smock.
Holy jumping. Now I remember. It's Al Smock's brother, Jack Smock.
That's right. He had a brother. Came up here and claimed the body. Does that mean anything to you?
Ha-ha! Does it? Set an extra plate in your dining room, Chief. We're sending you a new boarder.
Goodbye, sir, and thanks a million for your help.
Jack Smock. He must have dyed his hair and put on glasses. Phil, you remember the case? The two brothers about 4 years ago?
Yeah, vaguely. It was manslaughter. You helped send the one called Al Smock up for 20 years.
Right, honey, right. Jack was supposed to be brothers Al, alibi.
Yeah.
But our testimony tied him up in bow knots.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Al died in prison. Now brother Jack is out for revenge.
Oh, fine. But where is brother Jack right now, and how do we catch him?
Got it, honey. Jack claimed the body, so he must have buried him. Now we gotta find that body.
We'll return to Mike Shane and his adventures in just a moment. Due to their position, the front wheel bearings of your automobile are subject to damage from dirt, water, grit, and brake dust. Because of their more exposed position, and because they are so important to safe, easy driving, front wheel bearings need the best possible lubrication. Failure to keep these bearings well greased can mean wheel shimmy, hard steering, and weakening of the whole front assembly. For these reasons, your neighborhood Union Oil Minuteman uses extra care when he lubricates your front wheel bearings. First, he washes out all the old grease and dirt with solvents. Then the bearings and races are individually cleaned until they are dry and shiny. Finally, the clean, polished bearings are carefully assembled in the races and greased with special equipment. With each bearing snugly sealed in a smooth, sturdy coating of Union Oil ball roll grease, your front wheels are all set for months of well-lubricated, easy rolling. The cost for the entire service is nominal, so for safer, easier driving, just stop in wherever you see the sign of the big orange and blue 76 and ask for Union Oil front wheel bearing service. Thank you. At police headquarters, Mike and Inspector Faraday each holds a telephone in his hands. They have checked every cemetery in the book.
Well, here's the last one. Shadow Mountain Cemetery.
Yes, sir. Here it is. Albert Smock, interred last Friday. The plot was bought by a Mr. Jack Smock.
Swell. What's his address?
Our records show it as 1960 Waterfront.
This is it, kids. Looks like a busted-down rooming house.
And somebody's head sticking out of every window.
Yeah, there's the sergeant at the entrance.
Good work, Sergeant. Anybody try to leave the building?
No, sir. I got 2 boys at the back door, 2 in the alley, and 2 by the fire escape.
Okay, let's go in, Mike.
I'm coming too.
You are not. You want a hole in your head?
I might get one just standing here, Smarty. Smock may be in that crowd across the street.
Something to that, Mike.
Yeah.
Sergeant, your job will be to take care of Miss Knight. We're all going in.
Right. Come on.
Oh, jeepers, it's dark.
Yeah, that's a tough question, Raj. I just said 2. But, like, my favorite old-time radio shows of all time are what is Sherlock Holmes with Basil Rathbone, Nigel Bruce. My second go-to is Jack Benny. I love the Jack Benny show. There's so many episodes, and it just went on for so long, and it's one of my favorite shows. So, Sherlock Holmes, Basil Rathbone, Nigel Bruce, Jack Benny. Those are my top 2. And then it just depends. There's some episodes of some horror shows that I really like, Inner Sanctum and CBS Radio Mystery Theater. But I would go next to the Richard Diamonds. I'm really into that right now. So it's a tough call. It really is. It's not easy to pick. So I love them all, even comedy. It just depends what mood I'm in and what I really like. But those are my top 2 for sure. Hey, Horror Junkie. What is going on? Good to see you. Good to see you, Horror Junkie. Almost done. It's 9:10. As soon as this episode's over, I'm going to end the stream. So I do appreciate everybody being here. Make sure you guys please hit that thumbs up. And please do comment afterwards. So I'm hoping I got I put this together right. So anyways, here we go. 4 more minutes.
And why don't they light these stairs?
Quiet, honey, quiet. He's on this next floor.
If he's in his room.
The landlord said room 305. Now, let me see. That'd be here to the left.
Keep close to the wall.
There it is. That door there.
There's no light shining under it.
Maybe he's playing possum.
Sergeant, you and Phil stay here, flatten out against the wall.
Yes, sir.
Now, you ready, Faraday?
Ready.
He's playing coy.
Open up, Smock. You're completely surrounded.
Okay, so you won't open up. All right, Faraday?
Yeah. So that's his answer. Okay, Mike, let's go. Down there! Wait a minute, I'll get the light.
Oh, hurry up.
Here it is.
Happened. Mike. Oh, he's flat on the floor. Mike, are you all right?
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, Inspector, okay. Climb out from under that table.
I knew somebody got hit, but who? He shot the gun right out of my hand.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know where to aim in the dark till he fired, and I saw his flash.
Thanks to you, Mike, I'm still breathing.
Yeah, well, this man on the floor won't be unless we get an ambulance quick.
You found out. I didn't think. You're right, buddy. You didn't think, period. Revenge doesn't take much in the way of brains. Just an awful lot of lives.
Don't be silly, Phyllis. Mrs. Faraday will be glad to put you up for a couple of nights. Here, drink this down.
He's right, honey. Stay out of your apartment for a few days till you sort of forget what's happened.
Oh, all right. I was just thinking, this was a freak case. Everything stacked up so strongly against Nelson Carter and Dr. Spiegel. And yet at the last minute, it turned out to be almost a complete stranger.
Because we were looking for the wrong motive.
Yeah, I'm worried about that guy Spiegel. He looks to me like a guy who'd commit plenty of murders.
And will before he gets through with his career.
No, you can spike that, Faraday. Lock him up for stealing chemical formulas. That'll keep him quiet.
Hey, not a bad idea. Keep him so busy making little ones out of big ones that he can't make dead ones out of live ones.
Well, I hope, honey, that this little episode won't scare you out of the detecting business. Nearly getting bumped off by your boss's enemies.
He's got plenty more enemies besides Jack Smock.
Oh, I don't know. I'd stick anyway. My boss forgets the attractions of the job.
What? What? Why, honey.
again next week at 8:30 for another adventure with Michael Shayne, Private Detective, starring Wally Mayer and Kathy Lewis, and Joe Forte as Inspector Faraday. Tonight's story was written by Richard DeGraff and based on the character created by Brett Halliday. Music was composed and directed by Bernard Katz. This is John Lang saying goodnight for the people who make 76 gasoline and Triton Motor Oil. Union Oil Company. This is the Mutual Don Lee Broadcasting System.
Okay. That was Michael Shayne, Body in the Trunk. There you go. I tell you what, I'm going to end here because it's 9:15, and I'm going to get ready for the overnight on the Late Late Horror Show. I almost got through bag 7. I will finish this up later on. And I got bags 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this has taken a while to put this food truck together, but it's just it's like more complicated than the houses, actually. I put the modulars up, Lego modulars up pretty darn quick. But this one's taken a while. I'm not sure. Hopefully I can get back on tomorrow night. So stay tuned for that. But make sure you guys please. This was fun. Thank you. Again, it is coming through, coming together nicely. That's all I got to say. But again, I got to work on some of the Lego City, the roller coaster, the second half of the roller coaster, and once I get through this, I'm going to have something special that I put together. So stay tuned for that. It's a Lego set. No hurry, Dino. Oh, I know. Listen, it is what it is, right? As long as it takes. We got all the time in the world. Take care, Raj. Good to have you here. Good to have everybody here. No hurried. Oh, I just said that, JLR. Okay, so yes, I had to take the ladder apart because I had the wrong. They have a really, like, this is how, let's see, let me show you. You can mix these up pretty easy, like the size of these, unless you're paying attention, and I wasn't paying attention. Anyways, thank you guys, much love to you, and I will see you guys over at the Late Late Horror Show. So take care, and until the next stream.